Hello? Hello? Is it working now? Oh my gosh. Damn. That was like the second time that happened. It was like, no, you don't have a connection to the YouTube server, so you cannot stream. And I was like, oh, but I'm looking at it right now. Looks pretty connected to me. Had to turn off the Wi-Fi, turn it back on. I love being IT support. I don't. I don't. How are y'all? Hope y'all day's been okay. My cat has decided the keyboard is his home. It's great. It's great. You know, you have all the other space in the house. You were perfectly fine on the bed earlier, and now that I'm like, okay, you know, time to do stuff on my computer, you're like, ah, the keyboard. Free real estate. Stream works now? Just started like just now? Yeah, it just started just now. I can't believe you were late. That's crazy. You know, it's crazy for y'all to be late. Shame. No, I was late. Well, I was on time. The Wi-Fi was late. It kicked me off. I don't know what happened. It was just like, no, you can't stream. You cannot stream. And I was like, but I streamed yesterday and the day before that and the week before that. And it's like, no, not today though. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, today's gonna be fun. I had a idea that I've been needing to do, and you know, the origin of the art streams every Wednesday, aside from like me actually working, Wi-Fi says no, literally. But the origin of the art streams first started whenever like, you know, aside from the whole streaming start or whatever, I wanted an excuse to actually start working on art more often. And I was like, what if I stream it? Since I'm trying to do streaming more often, it'll give me something to stream. And so that's why I started, you know, streaming on Wednesdays, specifically art, because Wednesday was like a surefire day where no one asked me to do anything. I didn't have anything last minute come up. No one talks to me on Wednesdays, you know? So it was a perfect day to do art. And so just like that, this task that I've been meaning to do, which was to come up for a blueprint for a plush toy, a plush model of Paprika, because I thought that would be really cute. I really wanted to do it, and I know how to do it because I've done it before. So I was like, I want to make one of those, you know, little blueprints so that I can make one maybe one day on stream. And yeah, I've been putting it off, like hella putting it off. It's been like 3 weeks since that idea first popped into my head, so now we're gonna be doing that on stream today. Once we hit 15, we'll hop right in. Yay, Wednesday art stream! Yeah, Wednesday art stream, let's go! It's Wednesday, perfect day for art. Honestly, if you want to get anything done on a day where like no one will interrupt you, or like no one will be like, hey, you want to come hang out with me? And it's not like, oh man, I don't want to hang out with you, go away, I don't want to be near people, I hate people. You know, it's not that. We love people, right? But like, there needs to be one day where I can just like do something without people being like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, you know, and like, don't get me wrong, I love helping people. Like, that's why I'm always saying yes. But like then I don't have chances to get stuff like this done, where it's like, I mean, I can't, you can't partner up with someone to do that. I mean, maybe for like the making part of it, but you know, in terms of like, I mean, I don't know how you can collaborate with someone for something like coming up with a blueprint, you know? Hi, I'm walking with my mom and sisters, I can't talk, see you later. No problem, be safe, Antonio. Yes, true. Literally, Wednesdays are literally that day. Because, like, no one wants to do anything on a Wednesday, and so you gotta capitalize on that. Just like Sundays, except Sundays is when no one wants to do anything, business-wise. And so that's when you do, like, the fun things, you know? Oh my god, leg cramp. Okay, we're fine. It could have been worse. If I'd continued to try sitting in that position, it would have been worse. Crisis averted, it's okay, y'all. Just don't sit crisscross in a chair that's not made for crisscross. I'm learning every day. Each and every day I get stronger. I learn something new. Whether I want to or not. Oh man. I spent quite a bit of time on Twitter today. And like my tweets don't reflect it. Neither, like, nothing shows that I spent a lot of time on Twitter other than my brain. But yeah, Twitter's scary. If you go off the wrong end, it's scary. Should we remind the reminder to remind you your reminder to remind the future Paprika plush blueprint? Yes. Wait, okay. Let me see the logic of that, because, like, I surprisingly, I think, read it correctly, but I didn't understand it, so let me see. Should we remind the reminder? So we're going to remind the reminder Specifically, we're reminding the reminder to remind me to... Wait, what? Okay. Should we remind the reminder to remind your reminder to remind future Paprika? Okay, so we're reminding the reminder to remind the reminder to remind future Paprika. You know, remind doesn't sound like a word anymore. Once you say a word too much, like back to back, it no longer sounds like a word. I'm not even sure if I was saying that correctly. What? Listen, Nori, I'm in the same boat as you. I got lost halfway through, but essentially what we're doing is we're reminding the reminder to remind another reminder. Okay, so a third reminder. Because we become a reminder when we remind the reminder, right? So we're a reminder reminding the reminder to remind yet another reminder to remind future Paprika of the plush Paprika. So there's 3 reminders right there. We remind a reminder, specifically to remind a reminder, the second one, or the third one in this case, because we've become the first reminder. So we're the first reminder, we remind a second reminder to remind the third reminder to remind future Paprika of plush Paprika. Oh my gosh, it'd be like that. It was me with the word like 10 days ago. It's rough, it's rough. English just breaks like that. No, I'm not doing this by it. No worries, no worries. I felt that way. And in my coding classes, have you ever sat through like a binary lesson? Oh my gosh, that is... Whew, that's a thing to sit through. Like, oh my god, binary, I think it's binary equations or something like that, where they like use symbols. I swear I didn't miss a day of lessons, but I did not follow that lesson at all. I had no idea what they were talking about, and they were just like, yeah, no, yeah, this makes sense. Like, no, it doesn't. Stop lying to yourselves. Oh my gosh. Yeah, reminded the reminder because we reminded the reminder to remind future Paprika about the plush blueprint. Exactly. I'm listening when I walk. Pog. A binary lesson, like 1 + 1 = 10? I think so. That looks familiar, but it was like... What was it? I can't even remember. Let's see if I can find it. Like, literally, it's blocked off in my brains. In my brains? I have multiple brains. No, it's blocked off in my brain because it was like such a traumatic experience. Ah, man. Yeah, it's like 0 + 1 = 1, 1 + 0 = 1, 0 + 0 = 0, 1 + 1 = 0, carry the 1, 1 + 1 + carry = 1, but you carry the 1. Like, what? And then they added like other things too, where it was like certain lines in certain directions meant like a certain thing and stuff like that, and like the exclamation point, I think that was like bang or something, I can't remember. It's literally so horrible. I hated it so much. 11 + 1 = 100. Binary is fun. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It was so bad. Like, I hated that lesson so much because it didn't make any sense. I mean, I'm sure to an extent it made sense, but the thing is, I think of things in like a physical sense. That's how my brain has always worked. Or like, not really physical, but more so like, I guess somewhat literal. So like, the best way I can understand a concept is to link it to another concept that I already had knowledge of, right? So if I'm like, oh, how would this like be placed together? I'm like, oh, it could be like this, like these are these things, and then this works in this, the same role as like this would have, right? I'm having a hard time like thinking of it now, like thinking of examples now, but that's what I've done commonly in order to understand things, you know? And so to not have something to really apply that to other than a computer takes this in, like this positive thing and this other positive thing, and because it flips this positive switch twice or whatever, it turns negative or something like that. I don't even know. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't click for me. It has to click in order for me to understand it. It never clicked. We spent like a good month on that lesson and it never clicked. I guess it just takes your own pace. I do program stuff, so I had to get used to it fast. Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, I feel like some people it just clicks, some people it just doesn't, and I was one of them who didn't. So don't feel bad if there's something that you're trying to learn and it doesn't click. It's normal. You can in fact still do it. I got a degree with knowledge of coding. Am I the best at it? Absolutely not. Would I say confidently that I'm good at it? Absolutely not. But did I get the degree nonetheless? Yes, I did. Did I cheat? No, I didn't. I didn't cheat. I had too much pride to cheat. I studied so goddamn hard, and I never studied in high school. So it was hard to do that in a college setting. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And when you really set out to do something, you will find that you have the strength to get it done. If you really, really set out to do it. And you gotta, like, constantly remind yourself, like, I'm here to do this. I'm here to do this. And just, like, repeat it to yourself like there's no tomorrow. And then, yeah, you can do it. It's hard. It's so fucking hard. But you can do it. You can do it. Oh, man, I got flashbacks. Ah, college. College, what a time. What a time. There's so many things that I could say about my experience in college, and it's just like, should I? I probably shouldn't. And then there's just like one thing that I find really funny. It was like my favorite thing to bring up in college because it was funny because nobody expected it from me. But it's still funny. I'll just say this, right? And you gotta like know a specific amount of knowledge. There was a 3D model that got copyrighted by Nintendo because of how realistic it was and how like kind of popular it got, of a character from a very popular franchise that they own, and they copyright claimed it in some way, making it canon that if it had existed in the franchise, that's what it would have looked like. And I have a picture of said 3D model. Not that I was the one who created it, not that I was in any way you know, related to the creation of it, but I know of that, and I have a picture of it, and so being able to say that to my fellow peers, like, oh, there was this thing, and, you know, tell them all about this one story, because it's such a crazy story, you know? So yeah, I have a picture of that on my phone. I still have it, because every time I see it, I'm like, well, you know, you never know when you meet someone where it's like, this will be the perfect thing to tell them, because no one expects it, you know? Who in their right mind is gonna bring up this one story about this one thing, you know? No one. But me, I will. I will. So yeah, there's that. I don't know, it's very funny. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. All of my friends know about it at school. Well, not at school, at, you know, the college friends that I had. I think a good way to learn binary is just writing down 4-digit blanks, then putting together either 0 or 1, then count from right to left, then make it based on 2 to the nth power. No. No. See, I don't even understand what that would have meant. I can't even fathom what that would look like. That's how far gone I am from, like, understanding that. I know that I could if I really, 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 really wanted to, but I don't really, 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 really want to. So, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, man. I remember, like, I learned Python and I was like, oh, man, Python's great. I love coding. And then I learned Java and I was like, I hate coding. And then I learned just the tiniest bit of, I think it was just C+, and I was like, coding ain't for me. Nope, it's not. 0, 0, 0, 0, kind of like this. Those are numbers. That must mean something. It must mean something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. I appreciate it though. I appreciate it because, you know, I admire people who are like, no, but you can learn it. Like, yeah, I can. I have the capability to do it. Before I forget, how do you say my profile picture? Trust me, I'm wearing a cape. I have diamonds in my hand. Oh, nice. I can barely see, but it does look like a Steve figure with like a red background, so that does make sense if you're wearing a cape. It just means 0? I mean, it makes sense to me. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Let's see. Okay, so first, it wouldn't be bad to think of what the design would be, and feel free to use this as a guide if you ever want to make a plushie, not specifically just like a paprika plushie, but any plushie in general. This is how you come up with a guide on how to actually, basically instructions on how to make it. Let me go ahead and change some music though, because like, I've found listening to this song for too long does not result in fun times, despite the sound of the song, because trust me, it's a bop. It's a bop. But any song played on loop for an extended period of time, it's not a good idea. It's not. Let's see. It's that. Hi, Paprika, how are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? I hope your day's been going well. And if not, I hope it gets better. Because I unfortunately cannot control the tides of the universe, I regret to say. Okay. so I know I want it to be like round, like just you know, huggable even, you know. So I know I want arms like that, just regular old plushy shenanigans, if you will. There we go. I thought for a second, I was like, oh, what if I change the stream title to like making a plush toy? But then people would come on and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're making plushes? Where can we order? Like, no, it's not what I want to do. Yeah, because fun things, right? Fun things. Whenever you make anything as an artist or whatever, you have to get manufacturers unless you can make it yourself. And so usually most people can't make stuff like keychains or plushies by themselves. Or at least at like a mass production level for like people to just freely order. There have been people who have done it, and like I applaud them to no end because it's really fascinating. What drawing? I'm drawing plans for a plush toy Paprika, not to be commercially available, rather just to exist. Very important to state that. But yeah, you gotta work with like manufacturers and stuff, and then get it set up to where like it gets shipped, and then if they don't get shipped, then like you gotta deal with the fallout. Because I have bought from a seller before who was an artist, or they are an artist, they still exist, and I really love their work. I followed them for a long time, and then they were like, hey, I'm getting these made into actual things, pre-order this now. And I was like, oh amazing, I want this so bad. And so I pre-ordered. I spent a decent amount of money pre-ordering, and then, you know, like they were kind of radio silent for a little bit. I mean, they weren't, but there was no update on that. So I was like, hey, like, have these, you know, are these about to get sent out? And they're like, yeah, we're about to send out the tracking number. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Right? I didn't want to bug them, you know, I adored them. They did amazing art. I was like, oh, they're so cool. I don't want to bug them. I don't want them to think that I'm mean or anything. And so, you know, I left it like that. Then, you know, a lot of people online were like, oh my gosh, I got my tracking number, I'm so excited, you know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get mine any day now. And then a lot of time passed, and then I messaged them like, hey, have all them been sent out yet? And they were like, no, there's still some getting sent out. So I was like, okay, cool. And so there was that. And then I waited some more, and then I got it, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I waited, right? And I was watching the tracking, you know, carefully, as I should. And one day the tracking just stopped. It stopped moving. It was like, oh, you know, it's right here. And then it never moved again. It never got an update. So I was like, that's kind of weird. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and after like 3 weeks of it being stuck in the same place, I was like, I don't think that's normal. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, I think it's stuck, and I haven't heard anything about this. Like, is there something that I need to do? And they looked at it and they were like, oh, that's weird. It might just be, you know, like, you know, making its way there. Just give it a little bit more time, okay? And I was like, okay, you know, no problem. 2 more weeks pass, nothing. By then it had been like, I want to say almost like 4 months since I had pre-ordered. Like, it was a decent amount of time had passed since I spent the money on it, you know? And so I was kind of like, you know, I do my thing. So I messaged them. They didn't reach out to me. I messaged them again, and I'm like, hey, you know, it still hasn't came through. What can we do? And they were like, oh, well, do you mind sending me the money for the shipping again? The shipping on its own was like $35. Now, bear in mind, it was jackets, right? It were these jackets. So, I understand it wasn't like, it's not cheap to ship stuff, especially that far, and it looked like their fulfillment center was somewhere in China, so it was overseas shipping. So I understand that, like, it costs money, right? I'm not naive or, you know, delusioned or anything, but, you know, I still paid money for it. So I was like, no, I'm not willing to. In fact, my financial things have changed since I first ordered it. I can't afford to do that. So, like, no worries if you can't send it to me anymore, if we can't do anything. Just all I need is a refund because I never got the product. And they were like, I can't give you a refund. And I was like, okay, then what can we do? And they were like, give it 1 more week. If nothing changes, then I'll see what I can do. So I was like, okay. So I wait again. I wait like a week and a half. I messaged them again. All right, what can we do? Do you need anything from me? You know, like, how can I help? I have, you know, I can't give you any more money, but how can I help? and they were like, I'm gonna prepare your order again free of charge. It's not gonna cost you anything. It'll get sent out with these like new orders that I'm sending out for like this totally different project at that point. So I was like, okay, you know, sounds good. I want to say it's been almost 3 weeks since then. I'm scared to message them, but I spent a decent amount of money on that. Oh my god. Yeah, send money again. Like, I get it, right? From an artist standpoint, there's not much you can do. You know, you don't work with the manufacturers, you don't work with the producers, and even then, even if it's not the manufacturer's fault or like the, you know, shipping things get lost. Things just happen to get lost via like shipment. There's nothing you really can do except send it again. But with stuff like that, it costs money to make the order again, you know? And so I totally understood where they were coming from, but like, that doesn't solve the problem of me not having my item, you know? And I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm entitled, but like, it was over 100. It was over 100. In fact, it was over $200. So like over 100 already is like, that's not money to be played around with. Over 200, that is definitely not money to be played with, you know? And so, you know, like, I still love them as an artist. I don't think they did anything, you know, like, oh, they went specifically to the manufacturer and like, don't give it to that person. I dislike that person for no reason who has not communicated with me thus far. You know, like, I don't think it was of any malintent, but there's still an issue to be solved. So, yeah. Yeah. As an artist, I can say if which I doubt I ever will because I don't want to have to ever deal with that, but if I ever send stuff out and it does not arrive, like, it's not bad of you to be like, hey, my thing never arrived. Can we work out some type of solution? Can I get my money back? Can I get, like, I even would have accepted store credit at that point because it was money that was lost. That is lost still, because I still don't have a resolution to that story. Maybe one day I will. I'm gonna probably have to message them again. I feel so bad that I'm the one that has to message first, you know? Like, it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it because I don't want to bug them because, you know, like they're just this bigger artist than me, and it's just like, oh, like I don't mean to cause any trouble. I really don't. I'm not trying to be one of those scammers where it's like, you never sent my order. Oh, well, you never ordered. Oh, well, I just wanted you to send me, you know, it's not that. I paid my money. I can show you the bank statement, but like I never got my thing. Oh man, it sucks. It sucks. So you have yet to receive anything? Yeah, I still have yet to receive anything. I haven't even gotten like a tracking number at this point. So like, I'm gonna have to message them because I know that they were dealing with, you know, like their new project or whatever. So like, I gotta message them again soon and be like, hey, so am I gonna get a tracking number for this? Can I get an update on this? Because like, I can't just leave it as is, unfortunately, because if you don't deal with the problem, no one's gonna deal with it. Scammed for real, for real? Nah, I wouldn't say scam because like people have been receiving their orders, so it's not like, oh, you know, like one of those scams where like, here's a Kickstarter, fund me on this, and then the money, you know, like they just run away with the money. No, things were getting sent out. It's just I was one of the unfortunate ones who didn't get it. I mean, it's hard to make a purchase like that, but it's also the responsibility about that. Exactly. And that's why I don't want to get into production with that stuff. Because, like, it's, like, because I would feel bad as an artist if, you know, somebody paid money for my product and then they never got it. And, like, I get it, you know, it costs money for us, too, to, like, be able to resend it. But, like, they didn't get their thing and they have no reason to not get their stuff, you know? So, yeah, like, it... That's why I don't expect a merch drop anytime soon. I would have to really trust the manufacturer, because even then, even when you get a manufacturer, there are still bad manufacturers who, like, their quality is poor, or they're not even legit, and they end up scamming the actual, like, artists and stuff, you know? It sucks. So it's like, it's really hard. I mean, not really hard, it's not impossible, you know? But, or rather, it's doable, it's just hard. Like most things in life. When's the last time you sent a message? I don't know. I think it was like at least a month ago, I want to say. Let's see if I can actually check. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Right here. Last time I sent a message was... the 28th of August. So it's been, what, like around a month. You know, it's not that long, but it's not that short either. A month still not update? Sounds like a scam for real. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I sent them all the proof that I could, but yeah, I'm gonna have to message them again. Because things just don't solve themselves. It sucks. Because what I'm scared that'll happen is that, like, I'll send them a message and it comes in the mail or something like that. Let's see. Well, no, if you get into doing merch or selling things like that, know what you're getting into. Everybody knows that things happen when it comes to things like deliveries. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like, because that was something that I had to, like, mentally prepare myself for, too. Because, like, when you order anything, there's always a chance. Like, even if it's Amazon Prime guaranteed delivery, there's still a chance that it's not going to get there, you know? Whether it be your Amazon driver decides they want it instead, you know, like, whatever. But usually it's the seller's responsibility to, or not usually, it is the seller's responsibility to ensure that a client who has paid their money gets their thing. That's something that I think everyone who gets into production should know, or should agree to, you know? And if you don't, then that's a scam. That's considered a scam. There's no other way to sugarcoat that. They have to take action and responsibility, even if it wasn't their fault. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Be on the lookout for an update on that, because when I finally get my jackets, I'll be so happy. Because they were so neat. I really like their design. And so I'm excited to see them. I'm sure at some point I will have them. Like, it's not something that I think, oh, I'll never get it at this point. Nah, I haven't given up. Rather, I've just been letting it stew. There we go. What color design are the jackets, though? I can't say, just because they're... How to say it? They're very well known for that. Not like they're the biggest creator ever, right? But they're a decent-sized creator who worked on this project that I haven't seen another person work on. And so, like, I don't want to name drop them, you know, because it's not like that big of an issue. You know, I don't want to cause anything, you know what I mean? And so that's why, like, I can't really say, but it was a really cute design. Let's see, they're notable. Yeah. So a few months back, I bought a figure for almost like 300. I know I feel ashamed I did something like that, but the post office still delivered it, shoved it in my mailbox, and I was mad bad. I felt that. There was this one artist that I ordered from on Tumblr, right? And they had these prints of like the evolutions, but they were inside like pastries and stuff. It is so cute. But when I got it, they like, you could tell that they tried to like shove it in the mailbox, and it was not something where it's like, oh, well, you know, if you put it in at the right angle, it can fit in. No, it wasn't. And so like you could tell that they had to like actually come up to the front door and actually leave it, and they weren't too happy about it. But luckily the posters arrived like mostly intact. And then there was this other thing where I got this envelope delivered, and like, envelopes are designed to be able to fit into a mailbox perfectly fine, right? So like the mailbox, just regular tunnel mailbox, right? Alright, like just regular, like that. And envelopes go like that, you know? Well, the way the post person decided to put it in was like that. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but that's how they shoved it in. And so I got my, you know, mail all folded and stuff, and it was just like, why? Did you skip the, like, very, very beginning introduction of, like, life where they show you, like, look, the square goes into the square hole, you know? Like, come on, man. It was not that hard. Like, I get it, you know, they gotta drive around in the sun and it's hot or whatever, and, you know, it's probably not the easiest job ever, but, I mean, come on. It wasn't that hard. Oh my gosh. I said handle the box with care. Literally, it's like they don't pay attention to that on purpose. Luckily nothing actual happened to the figurine, and the company I bought it from made sure the package is safe and secure. Oh, that's good. Also mad I paid for $300 for that. Like, don't you shove it in? Yeah. Yep, it goes into the square hole. Yeah, it does. I mean, because, like, how do you become a post office person and not know that it goes like that, you know? Like, you have to go out of your way to turn it that way. Like, it doesn't fit naturally like that. I don't know. Like, I don't mean to demean anybody, right? But, I mean, come on. It was just sad. It's like they had it out for me. Oh, man. But yeah, very funny, very funny. There was one time, right, that... I'm trying to, like, think what series it was. I know what secret... Okay. So there was a series called Secret XXX, right? And you can look it up. It's not as bad as it sounds somewhat, right? Like, there's only one scene. It's a pretty, like, short story. But I really enjoy it, right? I really enjoy the manga artist, right? I think it's Hirohara Meguru, I want to say. I could be saying that wrong, and also remembering it wrong, because it's been a hot minute since I've read it. Instant karma for real, for real? Imagine... Oh my gosh. Just happens to be a... Paid $100 from it, got held by country's customs, and I had to pay more even though the package was specified to not need any other payment. Oh, that sucks. So I tried and go pick my things up if I pay a good amount for it. I felt that. Yeah. But yeah, I ordered that manga from a site where they like sold the books, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. Never got it delivered. Never got it. It never came. And it like I was checking the thing and it was like, hey, it got delivered, and I checked my mailbox and there was nothing. So I was like, hey, it didn't get delivered, and they were like, no, it should be there. If not, contact customer support. And like I hate doing that. I hate asking for help at the stores, you know? And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to, right? Because I spent money on this and I really want the book. So I did. And so they were like, oh, you're gonna have to contact the post office to see if they actually delivered it. And I was like, well, that's dumb. What are they gonna do? And they said that I needed proof or something, so then I had to contact the post office, and then they were like, no, we delivered it, or at least it says we did. Other than that, we lost it. And I was like, oh, sweet, can you send me an email saying that you lost it? So I was like, so they were like, okay. Then they sent me that, then I forwarded that to customer care, and then customer care was like, okay, that's proof enough for us, and then they sent me a replacement book free of charge. So, you know, it's good. They handled what they were supposed to do. I get it. You know, you need proof that you're not just sending out extra books to a person, right? But like it was funny because they were like, you gotta get proof that it didn't get delivered. Like, what proof do you want? I don't have the book. Oh my gosh, I feel like I was getting scammed by my country because I already paid tax and I had to pay more tax. I felt that. Customs, like, luckily I've never had anything of mine get stuck in customs, but I've heard some like really bad stories of stuff getting stuck in customs, and it's just like, oh man, I hope I don't ever have to go through that. Every time that I'm checking shipping, I'm just like bated breath as I'm watching it go through customs, and it takes like days to go through sometimes, so I'm just like, no, don't get stuck there, don't do it, don't give up. Right there should be good. There we go. I'm gonna have to clean this up because I'm using a pen brush to sketch, which like is nice to my head, but it's probably not good for visibility. Supposed to erase this line. There we go. Like, not too long ago I paid $7.20 for 3 Egyptian gods, and if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, isn't it, not Melodious, it's... Whew. What's it called? I know it, but I don't know it, you know what I mean? It has an M in the name. Oh man, but I know what you're talking about. It looks like a Gundam almost. Exodia! I think it's Exodia. That does not have an M in it. But yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure it's that. Welcome in, Julissa, how are you? But I went to go pick those up in person. $7.20 for those was the quality. Quality's amazing. Yo, that's nice. That's good. Glad to see it's not scam money. Oh my god, that reminds me of the other day. I can't remember what it was that reminded me of it. But so my older brother, right? He's a big fan of Naruto. One day he came home and he was so excited, right? And I came home later that day, so whenever I came home, he was like, look at this cool thing that I got, right? He had gotten a figurine of Sasuke, right? So I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know, good for you, I'm happy for you. And I looked at it, I burst out laughing. It was the like worst quality Sasuke I've ever seen. Like it had the biggest forehead and the paint quality was so ass. And I felt so bad because I'm like, you're happy about this and I can't take this seriously. So I kind of giggled and I'm like, where'd you get this from? And he's like, I got it from the gas station for $20. And I was like, brother, they scammed the fuck out of you. This is the worst looking figurine I've seen. I will buy you another one and I can guarantee you that I can find it for $20 and it'll look better than this. And I did, and I ordered it, but then Amazon canceled it. So I never got him the next figurine, and like I told him like I'm gonna get you one because that no, don't do that again. Don't buy them from gas stations because it's like I'm proud. I'm proud that you're happy, you know, but this ain't it. This really ain't it. Oh my gosh. Which one do I post them in? You can post them in art. I think they count. Except for the Sky Dragon, Obsilic, the Tormentor, and the Wind Dragon of Ra. I'm kind of interested. Oh, are those it? I thought it was Exodia. Wait, how many pieces go into Exodia then? Oh, this is like totally off. There we go. Is it 8 then? I thought it was 8. Wait, I thought it was 3. But now I'm thinking it might have been 8. Because I know that, like... I know very little about Yu-Gi-Oh! What I do know is that, like, Dark Magician and the Wizard Girl or whatever were actually the Pharaoh's friends and stuff. And that some of the cards, or I think most of the cards, I think some of the cards were his friends trapped in the card game or something like that. Because it was actually, like, this evil spirit came back whenever the Pharaoh ruled and stuff. But he doesn't know that until later in the series, I think. I watched, like, very broken up clips of it. Just because, like, I couldn't follow a series to save my life. Let's see, gas station? Yeah, it was bad. No, Exodia is in, like, the class as in the gods, but he's not one. Ah, gotcha. That makes sense, There we go. I remember I watched, like, some people actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, yeah, I have no interest in that. I was never too interested in trading card games. I don't know, they didn't catch my appeal. I needed bright, flashy colors and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I used to build my Pokemon teams and stuff just based off of whatever was prettier. Because, you know, it was cute. And I, like, the main interest for me in, like, I think any video games has always been character design. Character design and or just, like, art in general. And so, that's always, like, been a big driving force in what I get and stuff like that. There we go. Oh, there we go. And then, like that. Then I think I'll do the tail, like, down. So I just want to, like, represent the tail, but I don't think it's going to be, like, effective as an actual tail. None of what I just said made sense. So if you didn't understand it, don't worry, I didn't either. There we go. Eraser, and there we go. I remember though, like, towards the end of the school year, for some reason it got super popular, because I think they came out with the mobile app while I was still in school, where you could play Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff. And so, like, the teachers were battling the students and stuff, because the students got interested because, like, oh, look, a new game, and it's retro and stuff. And then, like, the teachers got interested because, like, the teachers were still on the younger side. And so, you know, they were like, oh, this is from my childhood. I love this. You know, you don't stand a chance against me. And so they were battling the students and stuff. So, yeah, that was fun. Good times. Go, and I think I'll just make, like, bigger feet so that it looks like she's wearing shoes. It's cute just like you, but as a friend, yee. I'm glad it captures my cuteness. There we go. I don't think I'll do Should I? I'm like considering whether or not I should be doing too much detail. If so, I need reference. Nah, I probably shouldn't, huh? Yeah, because I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to make everything if I actually do that. So let me not put like the specifics of like, oh look, those are her, like, I don't even know what they're called. They're like leggings, but they're not. 4, 5, 6. There we go. 1, 2. Nope, that's not it. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think. Hey, close enough. Okay, now how would that look standing? So I need a template of it standing forward, standing backwards, and then a side view too, so that I can get like a full depth look at it, so that I know what it'll look like in a 3D sense. Let's see. Do any of y'all have like experience plush making? Asking for a friend. Nah, like, because it's a whole thing. Like, do you embroider the stuff, the face and stuff, or do you like just sew on new pieces? What's your preferred fabric whenever you make plushes? You know, stuff like that. And like this, how do you? Will it be like that? Should I create a JavaScript? I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you create a JavaScript. You either create something in JavaScript, or well, it's the same thing if I say this, but you use JavaScript to create something, I don't think. I mean, technically when you create any type of code in JavaScript, you are creating a JavaScript because it's in the language of Java and it's like a script for the code to read, but it, like, it's I mean, it kind of makes sense, but not really. But I mean, I guess if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. I hate JavaScript. I mean, it's not the worst, it's just not the best. I understand the whole like object class thing, but like it wasn't fun. Just do some work real quick, BRB. No worries, hope you get a good grade. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought I saw something moving on my screen. It's in the very like back of all the windows that I have open and stuff. It's the VC face. So I saw myself moving, but it freaked me out because I was like, what's that? There's something moving. What am I drawing? I'm drawing up blueprints for a plush toy of myself. Because I thought it'd be cute. I need to create those if I ever am interested in making it. My executor is finally working. Oh, nice, nice. That's good. There we go. Hello, good evening. Welcome in, Nico Pardo. How are you? Hope your day's been going well, and if not, I hope it gets better. Time to execute that Java code. Okay. I think I woke up yesterday with the hiccups. Can't remember if that was yesterday or today. Today's felt like such a long day. I'll be honest, I don't know what I've been doing on Wednesdays anymore. Because today felt like a totally different Wednesday. Because, like, I always stream from 7 to 10, but I did not know what to do with myself today. I got, like, a good amount of work done. But, I don't know, it felt like it felt like it was such a long day, you know? So it was like really, really weird. I don't know, just some days feel so long. There we go. Like that, I think. There we go. Not exactly, but close enough. And go this way. Here's a tip. If you ever make any plush toys, use felt. It's not gonna feel the best, but especially whenever it's your first time, like, you know, if it's your first time creating stuff, use cheaper materials, because what if you find out midst making it, I don't like this, you know? And then you just like leave it as a project you never finished. It's better to not spend too much on materials that you're not gonna actually use or never finish. So yeah, use cheaper materials in the beginning. Art, art, art? Yeah, art, 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 art. It goes both one too little and one too many arts. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Could be worse. I was trying to remember what I was doing for a split second. Also, hello. Welcome in. How's your day? Hope it's been going well. And if not, I hope it gets better. It gets better. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Right here. Let's see. There we go. Aw, man. I forgot. I was gonna go get a mandarin before stream started. But then stream was breaking, so I forgot to go get the mandarin. Dang it. And there's someone in the kitchen. I don't want to go in the kitchen when there's someone in the kitchen. Oh, man. I want to be perceived. Are you kidding me? People have to know that I eat? No. My gosh. You're offline in Discord? Yeah, I am. Put myself in offline whenever I started eating, and then I was like, I'm gonna go shower, and then I forgot to put myself back online. I don't know about y'all, but I have this like really bad habit of whenever like anyone gets home, I panic and like I scatter to my room. And I'm never doing anything wrong. I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm playing Mario Kart, or like I'm just eating a cookie, you know, like I will be doing the most like harmless stuff, and as soon as I hear someone like get home, I'm like, I scatter. It's so bad. I don't know why my adrenaline is like that. Cause like it like literally fight or flight response. A cookie? Yeah, no, it's literally the most random stuff. I could be doing anything. I could just be sitting there on my phone. There are sometimes where I'll be watching like TikToks out loud, you know, Home Alone, and then I hear like either a car pull in or the garage start opening, and like my heart starts like beating so bad, so I turn off my phone and I just like book it to my room. Cause like, I don't know. I really don't know why it happens. Cause on the one hand, like, I kind of get it. Maybe I'm just trying to be like, oh, well, you know, whenever I use these spaces, I don't like it whenever anybody's here. So, like, I don't want people to be like, oh man, I can't use this space because someone else is here. It could be partially that, or it could just be like, I don't know, I just, I don't like, I mean, I do like people. I do like hanging out with people. But also at the same time, like, oh man, there's a person here. I can't possibly be here at the same time. You look like someone who commits crimes. I mean, probably small crimes, but nothing too big, you know? Nothing too illegal. It's just stuff where it's like if people, like, specifically anyone related to the law, like, looks a little closer, they're like, wait a minute, that's illegal. Nah, nah. I can't remember the last illegal thing I've done. Alright, I got back from hockey, so I need a shower, so I'll be back on. Maybe gotta edit soon, I don't know. Too much talking, Paprika. Yep, no worries. Go enjoy your day. Yeah. Don't watch streams if you got stuff to do. Well, unless you can handle listening to things while also... That's what's going on. I was gonna say, unless you can handle listening to things while doing your thing. And I was wondering why, like, my head was so scattered. I had this music, like, blasting in the back of... I was about to say in the back of my ears, on my headphones. But I can turn down volume on my end so that, you know, it doesn't turn down volume for y'all, but it turns down volume for me. Which helps a lot, because otherwise I can't focus that much. It depends. Some tasks I can, like, listen to music really, really loud, but that's usually only, like non-thinky tasks. But some of them I can't do without thinking, so I have to do something that doesn't take up any thought. No. And so in this case, I can't listen too much and talk too much while doing this. I mean, I can talk quite a bit. I usually talk to myself whenever I'm drawing, but since I'm, like, also talking to myself whenever I'm doing art, as in, like, right now, I'm like, oh, that should move a little more up so that it's symmetrical and stuff, and let me just copy this over. You know, I'm, like, telling myself how to do things, and so that's why I get stuck on my words. Welcome in, iLurks! Last much. How you doing today, Pep? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, how are you doing? Hope your day's been well. There's another thing too. It's new. Check the description. I have rules now. Oh man, I feel so professional. Yeah. I figured, you know, like, if I really wanted to do things for real, I should probably start with that. And so I was like, yeah, let me stop putting this off, and went to a bunch of live streamers who I admire and looked at their rules, and I was like, yeah, I like their phrasing of this, and yeah, this is a good rule, and yeah, that's a good point. You know, it'd be good to be like, this is not allowed. Don't do this. So yeah, I feel so nice, you know? Like, it's like, I have rules now. Now my chat isn't just the lawless West. It is, in fact, I was gonna say average society, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit. But you know, now there's common law. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is common law a thing? What is common law? What does common law mean? Have I ever heard that? Ooh, nice rules now. My day's a bit boring as always, but good. That's good, that's good. And yeah. They're not, like, too restrictive, you know? But just very basic things where it's like, well, you know, I can't say, hey, don't do that. I mean, I can say, hey, don't do that, and, you know, have, like, a mod or something come and be like, don't do that, or we'll bonk you to hell and back, you know? But now I have, like, reasons to do it. Like, I made rules, and you need to listen to the rules. Otherwise, you will be bonked. Yeah. Because, like, I'm not saying go out and, you know, do anything bad, right? But if rules don't exist, how do we know what we can and can't do? And rather, this comes from a place of anxiety. Like, I very much look into what we can and can't do. So, like, if I'm going to a park, I, like, look, like, oh, can I skateboard here and stuff like that, you know? Can I ride my bike here? Because some parks don't allow it, and I just don't want my bike to be taken because I didn't read the rules. So, you know, it's better to do that. Hopefully that helps anybody with where it's like, oh, I'm not sure if they allow this, you know? And so now they can check it, and I think I covered most bases there. I think there was only like one thing that I didn't add that I might add later, just depending on how things go. Hopefully I never have to add it. But, you know, if it's happened like a couple of times, and if it is a continuous problem that I see, because it's not too continuous, it's honestly pretty rare. But if it is something that I continue to see, I'm gonna, you know, add a rule about it, and then be a lot more strict about it. One of the things that having younger siblings taught me is that it's not bad to establish boundaries and act on those boundaries. As long as you've previously established them, then you're more within your right to, you know, act upon them. Oh, I'm gonna take your bike away. Please don't. Man, I remember I used to have this like really girly bike, right? And like, it was my favorite bike. I don't know, I just loved it so much. But one day I left it just in our yard, right? Because that's where we always left it, but rather I left it like a little too far away from the house. And the place that we lived at was apparently notorious for, you know, things going missing. But I wasn't aware of that. And so one day I left it a little too far away from our house. And I'm not talking about like across the street or anything. It was still in our yard, but not as close to the front door as my parents would have liked. And so we woke up one day and I had no more bike. Never got that bike back. I was sad. But it is what it is, you know? Not really much I can do anymore. How did y'all learn how to ride bikes? Did y'all go through traditional, like, you know, my parents taught me how to ride bike? Like, how long did it take y'all to ride a bike, rather? I think that's a better question. Because, like, it took me, I think maybe like 2 hours to figure out how to ride a bike. Because here's what happened. So I wanted to learn how to ride a bike, right? But I was scared to fall because I don't like pain. And so I asked my parents, and they were like, yeah, we'll teach you next time. We'll teach you next time. They never did. They never did. And so, like, my brother wanted someone to ride bikes with. He was like, come on, I'll teach you. And I was like, okay, you know, if you're going to teach me, I'm more than happy to learn. I've been asking my parents all this time, and they said no. So yeah, I'll take a lesson. And so he took me outside, right? So I was like, okay, grab your bike. Okay, go to the top of the driveway. Okay, we had a tilted driveway, right? So go to the top of your driveway and then get on the bike. Okay, I'm on the bike. Now what? Just write it down and start riding your bike. And I was like, I don't know how to ride a bike. I can't do that. He was like, just trust me, get on the bike and write it down. And I was like, but I'm gonna fall. I don't know how to ride a bike. And he was like, just trust me on this, get on the bike or I'm going inside and I'm not teaching you how to ride a bike. And when people like threaten with the with the like, do it or I'm not gonna do this, then I'm like, well, you know, it's worth a shot, you know? And so I got on my bike and I was like, well, this is gonna end badly, right? But I trusted him either way. And so I rode my bike down. And as it started picking up speed, you know, the pedal started turning. And so I put my feet on the pedal and I kind of like let it turn. And then I started pushing whenever I got to the bottom of the driveway. And then I just kept pushing. And that's how I learned how to ride my bike. And I'll say, like, it took me about 2 hours because, like, by the end of those 2 hours, I was like, yeah, I can ride a bike. I was no longer unconfident. Because it's a little bit, I think majority of riding a bike is just confidence. Well, since I'm Hispanic, my dad told me just to get on and learn. Yeah. Basically the same, except, you know, it's my brother. And it's probably for the best, if anything. It's riding a bike, I can say now, you know, knowing how to ride my bike. And this happened years ago. I'm not saying like, oh, last week I learned how to ride a bike. No, I know how to ride a bike, but it really is a confidence thing. As long as you trust that, like, you won't fall and you don't worry too much about falling. Like, yeah, I'm worried every now and then, like, oh man, you know, I don't want to go over like this huge pothole or something, because then what if I lose my balance, right? You still gotta be a little bit safe and smart on a bike. But for the most part, just riding it is really just trusting that you're not going to fall and continuing to trust the mechanics of the bike and just pedaling, you know, pedaling, and then the balance naturally comes. I remember the old days when I started learning how to ride a bike. It was so a cool and chaotic learning. I felt that. Yeah, like years later, I taught my younger brother how to ride a bike, right? And it was funny because like we didn't live in the same place, so I couldn't do like the same method that my older brother had done. But I was like, okay, and I take teaching a lot more. I'm gonna say seriously, but his method was very effective. I'm not saying that my brother's way of teaching wasn't, or like was bad, because at the end of the day, I learned how to ride a bike. It was effective, and you can't argue with results, you know? And so, I'm a lot more cautious when it comes to teaching. So, I was like, okay, get on your bike, and what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start pedaling and just keep yourself upright. Don't worry about falling, just worry about staying on the bike seat and keep pedaling. Do both of those things at the same time, you'll be perfectly fine. I learned from my neighborhood friendos. Ooh, yeah, I love that. I had like a couple of friends who ended up learning that way too. You know, just the group of people, the group of kids who like ride their bikes around and is like, come on, I'll teach you. It's so sweet, you know, like we just like, I'll teach you, don't worry about it. I want you to do this thing with me, so I will teach you myself. And then they do. It's so sweet. I learned by falling. It's the best teacher. I actually learned a lot of things from them, to be honest. Yeah, the neighborhood kids who like just end up teaching you things, whether it be they're your friends or they're just the neighborhood kids who see you like playing outside. I miss those days. They're like so different from now. I don't know. I don't know if people still do that, to be honest. I don't go outside, and I think that's the beginning of the issue. I wonder if like we went outside as much as we used to whenever we were younger, if like we'd still meet people the way that we did back then, you know? Because back then it was just like be outside, and then if you're doing something that people found fun, they'll come up to you and be like, hey, can I do that with you? And, you know, given that you wanted them to and said yes, then that's how you made new friends. It feels like very different times. And it also depends on the area too, because some areas are just like not safe for kids to be outside, you know? And so yeah, it's strange. Oh yeah, but for my brother, I told him to get on the bike and just like do that. And the thing is, like, like the street that we were on, it was like somewhat bumpy. It didn't have a lot of potholes, but it was just like uneven. And there was a lot of cars parked on the street, and so that was like our number one concern, like, hey, don't run into the cars and stuff, you know? He he crashed into a car. He was like trying to pedal and trying to steer. And we were like, turn that way, or like fall that way, don't fall on the car. And he like couldn't control it because I guess he was just struggling to pedal. I don't know why it was so hard for him, but he like literally just crashed into the front of the car. Not super hard, the good thing, like he was not going at the fast speed to where it actually did any damage, but like when I tell you, so like this was the car, right? Excuse a poorly drawn car. I am not a car artist, unfortunately, right? But like that's the car. I think like this. There we go. Yep, that's what cars look like. Why does it look like a Yoshi car for some reason? But he was driving it, or he was riding his bike. Driving it. Right, he was riding the bike and he couldn't, like, how do bikes even look? He couldn't control it, and so he literally just, like, splat. I could still see it in my head, but he, like, literally splat on top of the car. Oh my god, it was so funny. And it didn't leave like too many marks, you know, it wasn't like super bad because he wasn't going fast. But it was really, really funny. Don't worry, my best friend, I'm here to save you because I saved the day. Nice, I don't think I need saving though. I am in fact perfectly fine. So I don't need saving. There we go. But yeah, that's funny. And yeah, you know, we were effective. A couple more tries later and he knew how to ride his bike. And he didn't hit the cars anymore. Whoops. There There we go. And so yeah, you know, like, maybe it wasn't the most or the best way to do it, but it did work. And it's funny because every time we talk about learning how to ride bikes, I'm like, you remember that car? And he's like, shut up. Oh man. Good times, good times. Riding a bike is easy, but learning how to roller skate, I'd say that's considerably harder because that really depends on how much of a like balance that you're able to have. Like just yourself. It doesn't really depend on the roller skates. Well, a little bit the roller skates, but more so your movement in them. So you have to be like very spatially aware. And like, I don't know, that's hard. The inline skates are easier, so if you're ever gonna, if for some reason you're taking advice from me, a maned wolf on the internet, if you're starting to learn how to skate, do inline skates first. And inline skates, right, so I don't know much about skating, but I do know this. So inline skates, wow, that's horrible, are like these boots, right? And then they have like usually 6 to 8 wheels. I think it's 8, but no, maybe it's 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know, but it's like some wheels, right? Actually, I think it's 4. What the hell? 2, 3, 4. That might be right. It's like 4 wheels, I think. And so those are inline skates, right? And then they have other ones. That's not the hand. That look. Wow. That look. They look like they're shorter. Considerably shorter. And then they have shoestrings too. But these look more like this. So it's like 2x2 wheels. They're still 4 wheels, but they're 2x2. Those are harder. I don't really understand how those work. I don't know if it's specifically because like I learned with the inline skates first, but they feel like they're easier to learn because it's a lot easier to balance. And surprisingly, despite it being just one row of wheels, it's not that hard to balance in. So yeah. The way that I learned how to skate was so like unconventional. So the first person to have skates around me. Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome in, Chaotic Dearlina. I'm doing fine. I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm doing good. How are you doing, by the way? But yeah, no one around my size had skates. Only my older brother did, and we did not share the same shoe size. So there was only like skates that were like 4 times my shoe size. Like it was nowhere near my shoe size. But I still wanted to learn how to skate. So what I did is whenever no one was watching and no one was home, I would grab his skates, I would put them on, and they were like way too big. And I would ride around the kitchen in those. And eventually I learned how to balance, learned how to like push myself, learned how to stop, and then I knew how to skate. So that I taught myself in. And I didn't fall as much as I just like clutched onto the side and would just go like back and forth between the ends of the kitchen. I've noticed that my method of teaching myself anything is always very like cautious and like methodical, but repetitive. So I guess I've always been able to learn things if I do them often enough. I'm like just now piecing that together. I've been doing good, thanks for asking. That's good, that's good. Glad to hear, glad to hear. There we go. But yeah, do y'all know how to skate? Chaotic Dearlina, do you mayhaps know how to skate? Whether it be roller skating, ice skating. Is rollerblading different from roller skating? I would think not. I would think they're like the same name for different things. No, different names for the same thing. But I don't know enough about roller skating to know the difference. I do know that longboarding is different from skateboarding because I do longboarding, or rather I used to. I have a longboard, I just haven't gone out to actually use it in a hot minute because back where I used to live, I had a couple friends who lived around the area, so I would go with them to parks to, you know, be able to ride it or whatever, right? But now where I live now, it's a bit further from my friends, so I can't just call them on like random Wednesdays and be like, hey, let's go to the park, you know? It requires a lot more planning, a lot more time. So I don't go out that often because of that. And I'm too like anxious to go to parks by myself. So I haven't touched that board in a hot minute. But one of these days I'm gonna get back out there. I surprisingly do know how to skate. Yo, what type of skating? I love how these two look like so different. Which one is more doable? I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Okay, what I gotta do... grab this. And go this way. Flip it that way. So here's a cool thing from an artist to you. How you can flip something over, right? So I want to get the back of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase all of the inner details. And you may have already seen this tip elsewhere because this is not my original tip. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. So like really just get the silhouette going there. Right there maybe. Go ahead and erase that. Erase that. Erase this. I've gone ice skating a little bit before. And I wanna learn how to do that. I wanna actually take classes for that. But well, because here's the thing. I like taking classes for certain things. Because while I do know that I can teach myself how to do that, right? Like, maybe not the best, maybe I won't know, like, the proper stances and stuff, but I could, at the end of the day, still learn the movements on how to, like, do cool things in terms of ice skating. But what if I injure myself, you know, because I'm doing it wrong and stuff like that? Like, that's why I want to get an actual teacher for that. But also because, you know, it's not really, like, the easiest unless you live in a very snowy area, which I do not. To just go ice skating where there's no one to watch you, you know? Like, the only places that I have are like an ice skating rink, and those are usually like busy, you know, like there's usually people there. So, me like learning certain moves or whatever, I would have to make sure there's not too many people around so that I don't like risk like hitting anyone or something, which I don't think I would do. Or rather, I wouldn't do intentionally, but there's a chance that I may accidentally do that since I wouldn't know exactly what I'm doing. And so taking a class or something like that, specifically in person, I'm not a huge fan of online learning for certain things, right? Like coding classes, I think it's perfectly fine if you learn it online. Maybe not the most effective, because I do know that people tend to ask less questions whenever they're online. But, for stuff like in-person sports and stuff, I just don't know how you would do that online, you know? But if you learned a skill, like, or any type of sport in person, it's kind of like designed to where there's always going to be an actual place where you can apply what you're learning, you know? Like, dance classes are held in dance studios for you to practice what you're learning in the studio, you know? In a place that's, like, literally kind of made for you to do said thing that you're learning. That's why art classes are held in art studios and stuff like that, or, you know, art classrooms, something closely related to that. And so yeah, that's why I want to take an actual class for that, but it costs money and time, and since I don't actually plan on pursuing that, I have a harder time convincing myself to be like, yeah, spend money on it. It'll be fine, you know? But yeah. Because, like, okay, so I took dance classes not to pursue that, and so an argument can be made that, like, well, then why did you, you know, spend money on that if you didn't pursue that either? But the thing was, I'd had a reason for that, and it could have been the same reason that I could have used the same reason to pursue ice skating lessons, but like, if I chose to ever stop ice skating after investing some stuff, I feel like I wouldn't have anything to really use that for. So, like, the materials I got for dance classes, right? It was literally just, like, clothes that I could move better in. So, like, sweatpants and just some, like, athletic shirts and stuff. And then, like, a new pair of shoes, right? Or, not really new, but just, like, a pair of shoes specifically for that. But with ice skating, you gotta get ice skates and stuff like that. And it's like, where else can I use ice skates in, you know? So, yeah, it was harder for me to convince myself to do that. But the main reason that I actually ended up doing dance classes were because I needed an excuse to get myself to, like, do some type of workout. Since I was working an office job at the time, there was not a lot of, like, physical movement, and I didn't want my body to start just, like, rotting, you know? And so I needed to push myself to do some kind of exercise. And so I signed up for a month-long class, and I did that because once I spend money on something, I don't like, you know, just letting it sitting there and rot, because then it's a waste of money, you know? And so, yeah. There we go. It doesn't look the best, but it doesn't have to. I wonder how this would be made. I wonder if I should make into actual 3D stuff. Or not. Oh yeah, I think a while ago I was like, oh, here's a tip. So you flip it over, you get the outline, right? And so essentially it'll look the same as if it were backwards, like turned around. And then you just, like, erase all the inner details as you draw the back. That's what I was trying to say. I forget that I'm saying things sometimes, so never end up finishing those thoughts. I wonder how many thoughts I've had throughout the course of my life that I never finished because I forgot that I was doing that. And I wonder how many people were actually, like, listening to what I was saying and stuff. As in, like, how many people were like, oh, I'll never get to hear the end of that story. Probably not too many. Oof, that was a sad thought. It's fine. It's fine. Head empty, no thoughts, only draw. How does this look 3D? It doesn't need these details, because that's not going to be on the actual thing. It doesn't need the details. Well, yeah, it doesn't need the details. It doesn't make sense. There we go. Okay, so flipped over, this is gonna have the 3, 2, 3. Did it already had... I can't remember if it already had the 3 piercings and I erased them or not. But either way, it's too late. There we go. There was this clip that I saw on Instagram, and it was like, oh man, it was so sad, it got me. So something that makes me sad, and this is like a genuinely sad thing that I think can make anyone sad, is like, no matter what happens, no matter what you want to happen, no matter what a person does, it doesn't exclude them from the flow of time. Things end and begin whether or not we want them to. And so, you know, like, what the clip was saying was that we aren't an exception to this. You know, there's a natural flow of time, things happen in cycles, and we like to think sometimes that, like, almost delude ourselves that we're not a part of that cycle, when we are, you know? And so there's no saying when what we're experiencing, what's known as life, will end, you know? And that's not necessarily to be like, oh, life could end at any moment. You know, life doesn't matter, right? Because it does. How can you live? How can you be happy? How can you, you know, like live through anything without saying it doesn't matter? Because when something bad happens, you feel sad. And that's not nothing. When something, you know, annoying happens, you feel angry. And that's a feeling. That's not nothing. So it's not that nothing matters. Just things exist. Things happen. And so, like, this one specifically was between, like, a conversation between, like, a son and a mother or something like that, right? I think it was, like, a clip of a movie. But, like, she was like, we like to think we're exceptions to that, but we're not. We're included. And the son was like, oh, you're an exception. And she's like, you're just saying that because I'm your mom. And then he's like, how do you stop it then? You know, how do you stop the pain? You know, like, what happens after that? And it's just like, she was just like, you don't, you just cry, just let it happen. And I was like, ah. Oh man, it makes it so emotional, you know. There's nothing you can do to stop that, but it's still not always, right? Life can be tough, but it's still such a pleasure to live, you know. There's like plenty of things that happen, plenty of stories to be told, and that have been told, and that will continue to be told, where it's like, it only happened because they lived, you know? I don't know. I think too much about this stuff, but it's something that makes me think a lot, you know? There we go. And then, like that. It's not my favorite spot for a tail. But I guess to some extent it'll do. I say as I'm erasing it because it's not convincing me. Don't be afraid to keep innovating, guys. It's the only way we continue to grow as a society and stuff. Yeah, things change. Things change no matter what we want to happen. And they won't always change the way we want them to. But it's probably for the best, right? We knew everything that was going to happen. Things would be boring. And also, who would be put in charge of what everything happens, you know? Because that's a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down to tonight. Not today, not today. We're redirecting that train of thought somewhere else. Let's see, I'm trying to get an idea right here. I don't know. Anyone got any words to spout in the chat? I can make a conversation out of almost anything. I say almost because there are some things that I refuse to go into depth to. Because it's not every conversation is a fun conversation, you know? Oh man. I want to go on a road trip sometime soon. I don't know. I like road trips. I like sleeping in cars. It's fun, you know? I don't like driving though. I just like car rides. But not like in a weird way. I don't know how it can be considered a weird way. But if there is, it's not in a weird way. I just like chilling in cars, you know, looking at the world, because it's like flying through the world without flying, right? Because like flying in its own right has its own wonders that I like, but it's not the same as driving, because driving you feel in the world, you know? You see everything. Things that you hadn't seen, stores that you hadn't seen before, you notice them, and you're like, oh shit, look, there's that store. I didn't know we had a store like that around here, you know? So you feel very connected to the world. Meanwhile, with, oh, I had a weird hiccup. With flying, it feels like you're too far from it. Like, it gives you a sense of wonder, but also a sense of, like, smallness, you know? Like, you don't really feel a part of the world, if you will. Like things exist, but you're not a part of that existence. Meanwhile, with driving, things exist and you are a part of that existence, you know? It's a very, like, specific feeling. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. But yeah, it's a nice feeling. Both of them. Like flying at night, if you can see the actual city lights and stuff, that's pretty. Or driving at night. Honestly, just like at night. I like shiny things, so it's not surprising that lights make me happy. So around Christmas time, you can imagine how happy I get just driving around. Well, not driving around, rather riding around. I don't like driving. But I like the Christmas lights. I don't really... How to say it? I don't know why. It makes me happy, you know? Like all these people, they decorate. And I don't know. Something about Christmas has always made me so happy. And it's not necessarily the gift giving part. I think it's just getting to see everyone again. And nowadays that doesn't apply as much. But like before, you know, it used to be a time whenever I'd see everybody. But not anymore. It is what it is. Now I gotta think even more in a 3D space. How would this look? Okay, still has the original image. I need room for the ears up there. There we go. A good tip for making blueprints of a plushie is really make like a 3D, not 3D model, but a 3D representation of it. So you get the sides, you get the back, you get the front, you know? So you know what it'll look like from every angle, so that whenever you're actually making it, you know how you're trying to make everything and where everything specifically will go, and how it looks from all angles. Oh, that's wrong. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna go look at something. Huh. I shouldn't have looked at that, but that scared me. Oh man. Let's see. Yellow, red. That's not good. Reconnection successful. I think you're lying to me. It still says red. Is it gonna work? Oh, it's green! It's green! Welcome back, hopefully, if y'all are back. Wait, has the thing broken? Let's see. Restoring chat. Popping it out again. There we go. I can't see. Ah, that's so strange. Oh my gosh. I guess it's connected again. It still says like status poor, but then OBS is like, no, we're good. Ah, it's so weird. Why does it do that? Oh my gosh. But yeah, what I was saying, I think it cut me off, but I appreciate everyone who's here right now. Because there's many times where I'm like, no one watches. This doesn't matter. But no, for some reason y'all are there. And it's a little weird. It's a little weird. But it's nice, you know? It's nice to know that even just me doing like dumb stuff and rambling on about, you know, like little, what's it called? I'm gonna say wimpy. Wimpy thoughts, you know, very like, oh yeah, you know, the world and this thing, and boom, I made you sad probably, you know? Like, y'all listen to that, and I appreciate that. Oh, now it says the stream is back to normal. That's good. That's good. Hopefully you caught all that. If not, a even more summarized version. Love you guys. There. Oh man. I mean, that's basically what I said. But not in a weird way. Not in a weird way. lucets, ruminile, will, limple, twiddle, millie, pedaled, thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but the way English works, I mean, it feels like it's what I was saying. I wonder if that's an actual word. I know sometimes people create slang and then it's like, this actually means something. Oh man, it's been so many times that like my siblings will say something and I laugh because I think, oh, this is a funny word that they're saying. They're not actually saying anything, and now they're saying something. I don't know what it is, but they're saying something. Then they go through the whole like, what are you talking about? What you're saying is an actual thing. There we go. I feel like I'm in a dream right now, which probably isn't good. If you feel that too often, so I've heard, it's not a good thing. It is in fact a condition that people have. But I don't know, today feels so still. The air is very still. I hear the AC right now and then got the lo-fi on. Like, it doesn't feel like a real day, you know? Feels like one of those days that comes and goes. Ah, I gotta make a thumbnail, I just remembered. Fuck, holy shit. Shit, I have so much to do. How did I get so little done? It's a chill stream after a Wombo day. For real, for real. It's one of those days. It's a Wednesday. I think Wednesdays are perfect for the art, because the art always gets me in the vibe to just be like very mellow and reflective, you know? I say, okay, wait, is reflective an actual, like, what's it called? Adjective? Well, no, it is an adjective, because reflective usually means it reflects something. But what is it called whenever, like, you keep just, like, looking back at life and you think about things a lot? Retrospective? No, I think that's an action. An action, the right word for action is verb. I think that's a verb. I don't know. I don't know the actual word for it. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just think about life and I'm just like, this, that, you know, one of those days. And just like spouting off about almost nonsense. It's one of those days. But those are always, you know, it's been scientifically proven. I don't know why I felt the need to say this, but it's been scientifically proven that if you want to have, like, reconnected again. There it goes. Hopefully it's reconnected. Yeah, it says it's reconnected. But ruminating is whenever you think of something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So kind of like overthinking. So whenever someone's like, oh, I ruminated on this question multiple times, which, like, firstly, who says that? But secondly, if they do say that, you can now know what it means. It just means they thought about it again and again and again and again. Oh, man. Yeah, very fun, very fun. I remember the first time that I played Breath of the Wild. Like, big words, right? Big words. I'm thinking about big words. But the first time that I played Breath of the Wild, whenever Rivali was there, he was like, that's simply asinine, right? And I was sitting there and I'm like, I'm already I'm already annoyed at this bird. And I was like, what does that even mean? What is he saying? Oh, he's so annoying. And I pulled out my phone and I'm like, he's making me look up a word, and then I looked it up like, what does asinine mean? And oh, it drops again. And it goes back up. Okay. But yeah, it just means dumb. It just means dumb. That's all it means. But like, why couldn't you have said that? But like, I get it, right? You know, different characters are gonna use different words and stuff like that. But to me, I don't know, I was like, oh man, I gotta look up a word because this guy's using it and I want to know what he's saying. But like, how dare he? Oh man. I wonder if there's like a lot of strain on the Wi-Fi. Is that why? Ugh, that's so annoying. Someday. Probably not. But actually, maybe. Someday. A dream is only as real as you let it be. So when your doctor says, what is it, like, Among Us people can't hurt you, it's not real. It's only as real as you let it be. If you really let Among Us people be real, then they are real. If you don't let it be real, then they're not real. I won't say that for big spooky things though, because I don't know. I guess technically in that case, I'm allowing cryptids to be real because I believe that they're real. But I don't know, I've just seen too many videos where it's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, real? Ah, disconnected. And it's connecting again. Man, what is up with that? I noticed that it happens with later streams, huh? So it has to be the Wi-Fi. It has to be whenever, like, people connect to it. I'm learning, guys. I'm piecing things together. Very, very slowly, but, you know, they're being pieced together nonetheless. There we go. Okay, and then from here... Oh, is it coming back? It's coming back. It's coming back. Is it back? I think it's back. Where are you? Oh my god, it dipped again? Thought my connection was being bad again, isn't it? I think Eureka One for All. We're laying together in the void of the surreal and Wi-Fi betrayal. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, it's... I'm assuming it's my Wi-Fi. Because, yeah, that's the only thing that would make sense. I mean, I doubt, you know, if y'all had bad Wi-Fi, it would affect me. Like, to the point where it would disconnect my stream, so yeah. No, I'm pretty sure. It's not OBS settings at this point, it's just the Wi-Fi. Wait, if I ran... Okay, give me a second. I don't know if y'all can still hear me, but I'm gonna run a Wi-Fi speed test and see what happens. Speed... what is it, like oak test? Let's see. I think I have it bookmarked. Bookmarked. That's the word, bookmarked. Wi-Fi test. Speed test, that's what it's called, speed test. Let me go ahead and gotta make sure it's not gonna show this anywhere. Okay, good. Thought it was mine, but I'm watching in 144 just in case. Oh no! I'm pixelated. Let's block that. Let's see what the speed is. It's usually like really, really high speeds, but considering how it's acting right now, I never like measured the speed. Let's see. Yeah, see, the download is bad, but the upload is really good. Can someone explain to me how download and upload speed works? Because from my understanding is that like the download speed is how fast you can download something, the upload speed is how fast you can upload something to internet servers, right? At least that's my understanding of it. Oh wow, it tanked. That's crazy. Okay, so at first it was like really, really fast, and then the last minute it went down. So my download speed is 16.93 and my upload speed is 18.19. It's crazy. The ping says 9. I don't know what that means. Idle latency, download latency, upload latency 295. What does that mean? What does any of this mean? Oh man. Let's see. I'm running it again to see. Ah, now it's... Okay, there it goes. It's loading. It's loading. Slowly but surely. Let me just continue drawing while it does what it needs to do. But yeah, for the most part, usually like the speeds always come out like, oh yeah, you know, you got good Wi-Fi. And I looked it up, and according to my area, is a good Wi-Fi that you can have, but I guess it gets spotty during certain days. I'm like watching it like a hawk. Yeah, so it is being strained a little bit. Huh, the more you know. I don't know if it's right, but the way I understood was download and upload is the speed that send and receive data. Can be very wrong, but it's what I learned by someone. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, so my speed for upload is usually like really high. The download tends to stay around... Ooh, I almost fell. The download tends to... Yeah, download tends to stay around like max, I want to say 70, but then it goes down to like 40s on some days. Right now it's around 30s. And then the upload speed, usually it's like always at 100, but right now it's at like 78. So yeah, but to be fair, there's like more people home today. I say more, but like it shouldn't affect it that much to where it does that often. Because there's really only like one other person on the Wi-Fi. So yeah, it's no bueno. Okay, this is gonna go down. There we go. But yeah, that was my understanding too. But then I was like, what if I understand it wrong? It's always my fear whenever I'm like not an expert on something or haven't done my own research. And even when I do my own research, I'm like, oh, there's probably a lot of information that I missed. But like, I'm never confident that I'll have the right information. So I'm like, I'm not an actual person who's qualified to speak on this, but from my understanding of this, and usually it's like a really accurate understanding. Not all the time, I can't guarantee, because I'm not a professional in anything. I'm very close to being a jack of all trades, but I will never be a master of one, unfortunately. I've shown just average skills at everything. Oh man, even the thing that like I consider I'm somewhat good at, I know I'm not the best at. And so I can never say that like, oh yeah, you know, at least I'm really good at this. Like, no, I'm not. I'm decently okay at Mario Kart, but in reality I'm just like better than the people that I tend to play with. Because like my siblings, oh my god, my siblings, they're fucking talented. My brother is really good at drawing. Not the older one, but he's done some of my art actually. Yeah, he's really talented. And then another one is getting into art, but they're pretty talented at games from what I've seen, you know? And then another one just knows like a bunch of lore about a bunch of video games, you know? And so like they each have their talents, you know? And the only thing I can do is I can be IT support. That's all I can do. I just know how to research, and even then, like I can't guarantee that I'm researching correctly. Cause like when you ask someone, hey, find out about this thing, and you give them like a short amount of time, like they can't just go out and like boom, here's everything to know, you know? Not compared with my family, I don't know much stuff. I felt that, you know? They're like, cause like they can all beat me now at games. There used to be a time where like I could beat them at games, and I'm talking about like just regular party games, not anything super like, oh wow, look, I'm actually super good at this skill. No, I'm talking about like Mario Kart. I'm talking about like, what was another game that we used to play? Like, what's it called? Mario Bros, you know? I used to be... No, Smash Bros, you know? I used to be, like, somewhat good at it. And then I stopped playing. So, you know, like, I get why it happened. If you don't nurture the skills that you have, you're gonna lose your skills. That's just the way the world works. But, like, I mean, I'm still, like, not the worst, right? I haven't lost all my skill. I'm not terrible at Mario Kart. But... like, I feel like I used to be better at it. And now, like, they've gotten better at it. And I understand why, right? Like, because whenever they competed against us, we would always, like, you know, kick their ass. And I'm talking about we as in, like, my older brother and me. I think games is the only good point I can be my family at, but other things, nah, forget it. See, like, even that, I've lost the capability to do that because we were so competitive with them from such a young age that, like... you know, they grew into talented gamers and stuff. Not, like, super talented. I'm not saying, like, oh, they've competed in tournaments and stuff. Not yet. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them did get into that type of stuff. But, as far as I know... Why is it... Okay, there it is. Not yet. But, like... I don't know, they're so good now. And I'm proud of them, right? Because it feels like, yay, you know, I taught them how to be good at this game. But also, like, now I can't beat them, so it's just like, ah. I've fallen. How the mighty have fallen, you know? It feels like that. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Like, I have nothing that I'm really good at. I am the perfect example of average. I don't know, to some extent it's comforting, you know? Because at least I know that, like, for the most part, any skill that I would want to pick up, I would be average at it, you know? Which means that I don't have to worry about being the worst. But it's like, what good is that, you know, if I can't be good? Stand in a corner with Sensei Beard and yell, that's my bro. Literally, like one day they'll be at tournaments or something and I'll be like, I used to be able to beat him, you know? And like I'm happy, but like, now I can't win, you know? Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good whenever they get better. It's good whenever they grow in skill. Because then it means that, like, you aided in their journey and such. But it sucks, because then you can't be like, well, I beat you at Smash Bros, so because you agreed to our bet, now it's disconnecting. Damn it. There we go. Is it back? Is it back? Reconnection successful. Okay. Sounds good to me. Just don't disconnect again? Just don't disconnect again. Easy peasy. Just don't. Just don't do it. Don't. Oh man. There we go. Nope. Still not it. Sometimes it just doesn't activate, and so I end up just a line across. Just like, there's this other thing. So it's like, how to say it? It's almost like this meme that I don't hear talked about a lot in the artist community, but there's a thing that you can do. So you see my little cursor? There's a thing that you can do to make it into a hand, usually like a button or a key combo that you can do to where you can move it around, right? If you don't hit it, you know, obviously you're still on the pen. And so, you know, that's a common one that it's like, oh, if you don't hit the key, then it won't grab and you just end up with lines, right? But there's this other thing too, where the selection tool, if I were to, for example, be drawing and like, oh, you know, here's this heart, that's a bad heart, here's this heart, right? A horrible heart. You know what? Here's this butterfly, and I want to move it over there, right? So I want to grab the thing. Let's say I were to miss it, and then go back and do that. It's not it's not gonna do what I need it to do. And so I was talking about it with my brother the other day, and I was like, yeah, you know that pathetic line or that pathetic circle that you end up doing, not like him specifically, right, but just in general, whenever you like think that you have the selection tool selected and you don't, and so it's just like this freaking circle that's so annoying. He's like, yes, I know what you mean. Oh man, it was funny. It's annoying though. It's annoying because then like you gotta, I don't know, press one more button. It's not that bad. It's just it's not great, you know? It's just like, oh, I missed, and now I gotta deal with the consequences of having tried. That way, and like that. There we go. They're communicating. There. Let go of that. Let me check one thing, because there's a weird amount of that. Okay. Okay, it's nothing important. Gotta check notifications sometimes, because it's like, why are there so many? It's nothing bad. That's good. There we go. Sometimes I forget I can just leave group chats. I feel rude though. If I'm the first one to leave a group chat, then it's like, feels awkward. It's kind of like whenever people come and then like, whenever people sit down next to you and then you like don't want to get up and move away, but you don't like that they came and sat next to you. And so you gotta like sit there for just a bit and then kind of almost find a reason to move. So like, usually for me, it's whenever I have a thing to do. So like, oh, I finished eating my bag of chips. Now I must go throw away the trash, you know? And that's why I'm getting up, not because, you know, you're a horrible person and I don't like you. But yeah. And the funny thing is, being on the opposite side of that, whenever I've like sat next to a person, on the one hand, it's like, I feel relief whenever they move, but on the other hand, it's like, was I the problem? Did I cause you to be uncomfortable and now you're leaving? Oh man, it's embarrassing. Depending on what person is on your side, just ignore it if you don't want much to get up. Oh yeah, no, I've definitely grown some more, like, I'm a lot more, how to say it? I know when to kick my heels into the ground, you know? Like, I know when to be like, yeah, no, you're not making me uncomfortable. This is something that I want, so you're not gonna dissuade me from this. Suddenly announce, my people need me, and jetpack through the roof. my brother didn't call for me, I'm leaving. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've gotten more used to people in recent years, so Yeah, whenever people sit next to me now, if I'm like really comfy or it's a spot that I want, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna move because there's a person next to me. No, I'm gonna be like, ah, this person has to deal with me now. But yeah, yeah. You know what's awkward? Sometimes it's like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like people do a thing and I'm like, why did you do that? That was like a bad thing to do. Like, it's so much like more annoying to me, you know? And so I gotta like deal with it or whatever. And then they notice and they're like, I'm so sorry, right? And they're like very apologetic and they fix whatever they did. And so I had this whole moment in my head where I'm like, oh man, you try to like obstruct my just enjoying of peace. Fine, you won't annoy me. I'm gonna be the bigger person and just learn how to cope with it. And then they're apologetic and they're like, I'll fix it. I'm sorry. And then they fix it. And I'm like, well, now I feel bad for thinking that you were trying to obstruct my peace. Is Peppery on a shelf? It is, it is. What the heck is happening? Ah, just me talking about... You ever had those people who like let's say they get in the way of like you watching something and then they turn around, they notice they're in the way and then they get apologetic about it? Like the very rare cases where they actually like move and they're like, I'm so sorry. Like it almost never happens, but when it does, I feel bad because usually I've come to expect for people to like kind of get in the way on purpose or because they want to see, which, you know, is fair. I want to see too, but it gets annoying, you know, and then for them to finally like move and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, I didn't mean for that. And then they fix the like whatever they're doing. It's like, thank you. And now I feel bad for thinking you were a bad person. No, because I don't socialize. I felt that. Yeah, it only happens whenever you go out. Because, like, I can't imagine how that would happen online. You'd be like, oh, you took the first comment. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you want the first comment. You know, like, that's not really a thing that would happen, I think. That's why I rely on looking at my phone, can't block my view. Well, yeah, but, like, I don't know, this is gonna sound very old sounding, but I want to see it with my own eyes, you know? There's some type of magic that can't really be held or it can't really be captured in a phone camera, you know? And don't get me wrong, like, being able to see something, because, I gotta word this very carefully, but I can't always see, right? And so phone cameras have really, like, come in clutch for me. And so, like, I don't know, I want to be able to see it with my own eyes, you know? Not a person to socialize to, exactly. Most underrated VTuber, not gonna lie. Aw. Online, this is the same way. Probably as short as VTuber too. I am not that short. I'm massive. I get asked to move out of people's way all the time. Oh man. Ah, that reminds me. It reminds me of this one time I was freaking driving at a Sonic. This is completely unrelated and off topic, right? So I'm driving to a Sonic, right? I'm coming out of a store, and then there's a Sonic over here, right? And they have like a banqueta right here, which is like a thing where they have the trees and stuff, right? So I'm driving my car, and I want to go into where they have the little like parking spaces, right? To this part where there's a stop on their side, right? And so I don't have a stop. They have to stop right there. I have the right of way. So I see them, and so I stop for a second because it didn't look like they were going to stop. And then they see me and they stop. And so we're both stopped. And so I move forward. They move forward. And then I stop. And then they stop. And then I move forward and they move forward. And then they honk at me. And I get annoyed, so I go. And then it was fine. But we both drove into the Sonic, so it was really awkward. And then they didn't park directly next to me. They parked like 3 spots down. But, like, it was so awkward. I didn't want to look that way the entire time. I'm average frog height. Whenever I was a frog detective, you gotta understand. At one point, it becomes a waltz, then we fall in love. Oh my god, the 45th anniversary admit. I just wanted to go to the bank, man. What happened? Literally. Oh my god, strangers to lovers speedrun. How much is your height? Is height the right word? Yeah, height's the right word. I am 7'5", I think. Was the established number, I want to say, or 6 foot. I don't know, somewhere between 6 foot and 7 foot. You know, man wolves don't really measure their height or anything. We're just usually accepted as tall. So, oh man, I'm drawing plans for whatchamacallit, plush toy paprika. There we go. Let's move them that way. Gotta make essentially a 3D model. No. It's perfectly established that you're 4 foot tall. I don't recall that ever being established. Okay, now, what is each shape that would have to be accomplished? Tall? Yeah, I'm huge. I'm humongous. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm... See, because the more I say it, the more people are like, oh, no, you can't possibly be tall, but I'm literally just, like, indescribable. That's how big I am. Your editor literally leaked you're 4 foot tall on live television. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been, well, I was gonna say I've never been 4 foot tall, but that's not true. We were all short at one point, and that's whenever we were born, you know? It's very rare to be born, like, really, really tall. The whole world knows of your dwarfism. I'm not a dwarf. In centimeters, please, not foot type. I'm dumb. It's like saying inches for me. It can't process how it is. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Let me see. 7 foot 5, 7.5 feet in centimeters, because I don't know the conversion rate, but yeah, I get it. To some people, that's the unit of measurement that they're most familiar with. But yeah, centimeters. 228.6 centimeters. That's what Google's saying, at least. There we go. Kind of fixed it. She's lying. She's not even 7 feet tall. What are you talking about? She would have been in the WNBA. Listen, man. Just because you're tall doesn't mean that you're talented at basketball. You can ask any tall person, any uncoordinated tall person. Not to say I'm uncoordinated. I'm decently coordinated. I'm just not that coordinated. I'm not coordinated enough, nor with nearly enough passion to be in that, you know? Oh, man. Nah. I could be... No. I was gonna say, I could be in the WNBA if I wanted to. I don't want to. I have no passion for that. So I would have never joined. I don't see a possibility where, like, Paprika ended up as a women's national basketball association competitor, you know? If I understood right, you are a giant? I am. Maned wolves are very, very tall. She's not really that tall. I'm huge. 7'5", right? I'll see here. Yeah. 7'5". What's the... Let's see. I think... Okay, Olympic swimming pools. The deepest part... I remember this coming up at some point. The deepest part of an Olympic pool is like 15 deep, right? 15 deep. Olympic swimming pool depth. There we go. She's gaslighting all of you. Not given to these lies. I'm not. This is the truth. This is the truth that I speak. Paprika is 7'5". Let's see. The minimum depth is 4.4 feet. The Olympic swimming pool is 20 feet, which is 1 meter. Wait. No, 6 meters. 6 meters is 20 feet. Your truth shall fall upon deaf ears. What are you talking about? Nah. It is completely factual in all possible factual capabilities. Okay, let me do this and do a different color, and then I'll start planning. I think it's me again. It's me. It's me. Oh, is it back? Is it finally back? Is it actually back? I can't tell. I believe. I'm back. Yo, I'm back. I survived. Man, that was bad. It disconnected like a good 4 times, and then it was like, connection reached successful, and then it was still like 0 kb, I think, per second transmitting. Oh man, that was... could have been worse. But we survived. I can't even remember what I was saying. Now answer my question. Let's see. Too excited. How have you been? I've been pretty good. You know, there and here, as one does, but all in all, I'm surviving. I think that's the important part at the end of the day, you know? See, on the one hand, I could split up this shape like this and do pleats, but then that would make a pleat in the middle of the face, which I'm not sure how I would feel about, because I would give it a shape like this on the face, which doesn't inherently look bad. Or honestly quite incredible. There we go. And then right here. There we go. But yeah. I feel like I was thinking about something beforehand, before stream was like, let me throw myself off of a cliff. So going back to height, 7'5" is high, 2 meters and some centimeters. Yeah, 2 meters I think is 20 feet, right? 6 meters, no, 6 meters is 20 feet. 6 meters is 20 feet. So, okay, so, hold on, I gotta do math. 20 feet, right, is 6 meters. So if I were to divide this by 5, then I would get 4. So that means... what does it mean? What am I trying to do here? So you have 170, so 5'7" if I'm right. No, I think that's backwards. I'm 7'5". These ones that I've seen in Google. Ah, is it? Wait, okay, so 5 groups. 4 feet. I don't understand what I was trying to do here. In my head it was like, how many per, you know what I mean? How many meters per foot is what I was trying to say, but I think it says it if I really pay attention. 1.35 meters is 4.4 feet. So I don't think there's like an equal or like an even way to really break that up. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, I'm leaving. Welcome back, Julissa. I'm leaving one of the questions ever of all time in the group chat. Just yes or no. Hi, Julissa. Ah, got you. I'll check it out. I think either... yeah, no, probably at the end of the stream. I don't like looking at Discord whenever I'm on stream, because then I can't read. I can't read and then I forget to talk and stuff. And that's no bueno. Oh. Ew. There it is. Honestly, it doesn't look that good. I don't like this pencil, but I don't know, I feel like it's good enough. My thing right here with the beginning of the coat is, do I make the arm first and then put the coat over that? In which case I would essentially have to make a tiny coat. Or do I make the arm and then make the coat and then stuff both of them? I think making both of them would save me fabric, because the fabric used for the skin is different from the one used for the actual jacket, you know? Right there. There we go. By the way, Faruka, have you ever thought that your character has lore? It does have lore. It does have lore. I had plans to have like a whole little like lore video, but it wasn't something that I like was too like, oh, I need to, you know, actually get that done and stuff. So it's still like in the planning stages. I still need to storyboard it and stuff, because my brother wants to like work on an animation, and I was like, well, you know, you can animate this for me. And he was like, and I was like, I'll make the storyboards for you. And he's like, I'll do that. Yeah, you make the storyboards and then I'll do it. So yeah, that's when I do the storyboards and stuff. You should make it. I would love to see your lore for your character. Bet. Yeah, it's a lot more simple. It's definitely not like as gritty as I've seen some of the lore that exists. Ooh, teamwork? Yeah. Yeah, a lot more is able to be done via team. That's a cool thing. That, like, to see what you can make whenever you join a team and stuff. That's why one day I wish to be a part of a group or something. Because then I'll be able to work with so many more people. And, you know, like, it's fun, you know? It's fun. I don't know, I'm one of those who, like, sees all the people in waves and stuff, and I'm just like, could you imagine? It's like having siblings, you know? But you can make content together, which, like, you can make content with your siblings. But it's different. It's different. I'm not good with teamwork. That sucks. That sucks. You know, there are times where it's frustrating, right? Because the main thing about teamwork is that, like, you gotta make sure everyone actually pulls their weight and stuff. But, like, there's so much more that's doable when, you know, everybody actually gets their work done. I messed up a lot in school. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I've been there before. I almost failed an English class one time. I almost failed it with, like, a 40. Because I refused to do, like, one of these major assignments. Which, you know, major assignments are called major assignments for a reason. Almost totaled my grade. I didn't do it. It was like one day late and the teacher calculated the grades without him. And I was gonna have a 40 and I was like, yeah, I don't think I have a choice with this assignment. So I did it. And then I got like a 70, which wasn't my best score, but it was still passing. It was still passing, so, you know, I just went with that. Let's see. Okay, so for the sleeve part, I think it's gonna be like 2 semicircles like that, but they're gonna have to like come in, so it's gonna have to be more like that. So it's gonna be 2 of those combined, so stitched together. There we go. And then how should I close off that part? Because I know I want the actual cuff of the sleeve to show. So it'll be something like this. That'll show the cuff. But then how do I make it to where it closes off the hand? I could sew little balls at the end, but that would change the design. I want it to not show the hands. So I might just have to cut out an actual circle and use that to cover it. Yeah, I think that's the most doable thing, because if I could make it like a triangular bottom so that, well, not triangular. It would have to be like trapezoidal, which is weird, because essentially what it's going to do is it's going to be a cover for the circle. Yeah, no, there's no way I would be able to do that, so it has to be a circle at the bottom to cover arm cover. There we go. Okay, so that's sleeve, and that's the hand. And then what happens next? For this one, that's a sleeve, and then I think this will actually be a piece that goes over the body. There we go. Yeah, and I think these, like this upper part of the jacket, will be a piece in and of itself. So let's go ahead and draw that so that I know that that's what I want to do. It doesn't look good, but the point is to have like a very detailed plan so that whenever you're actually making the pieces, you know how they're gonna assemble. What is this? I was gonna call it the brim of the jacket, but what would it be? Like the, not cuff, because that's on the sleeves. I don't know, that upper jacket piece. So do any of y'all do this? I don't know what made me think of this specifically, but sometimes I test if there are leaks or not within like the area near me, as in like information leaks, you know? Because it's important to know who you can tell stuff to. You know, you can't always tell people stuff. And I'm talking about like my parents and stuff. Like they don't agree with everything that I say. So let's see. Okay, long story short, Nova has been drafted into doing videos with us. Not saying anything else here. Okay, good, because you can't give away all of our secrets. But yes, I will come and talk to y'all after stream, okay? Cause like then it ruins the element of surprise, you know? If I were to plan everything just on live streams, then it wouldn't be a surprise. There's a lot of stuff coming up that I can't say now. Cause then there's like nothing else to look forward to, you know? But yeah, a fun thing to do. Or like, it makes you feel like a super spy. Maybe it's not like the best thing to do, but I don't think it's inherently bad. Okay, I think for this, I'll just cut it out of actual the shirt fabric. So that, it's not gonna be 2 pieces. It's probably gonna be 4 pieces for that. Excuse me while I like, I plan, but yeah, so a good thing to do is like, not frequently, right? But every now and then say something and then see if you ever, and not anything bad, but just like, it's almost like weather drills, you know? You say stuff and then see if it reaches where it shouldn't reach, and then you know that you got yourself an information leak. I wonder if they use that whenever, like they used to do secret spy stuff. They, as in, I'm assuming the government? I don't know, just people in general. Because there were stuff like spies and stuff. Spies did exist. That is so neat, you know? So it's gonna be a series of 4 pieces with that. And it's probably gonna look something like this. They gotta be wider along the bottom to account for the more bulbous body. That's what I'm gonna say. But it's more of a gourd figure, I think. There we go. There we go. And they have to like fit very flush together. It's gonna be 4 of those pieces. This is the body piece. But then that comes with this question. How am I gonna do... I know for the straps, I can just get like little straps of fabric. That won't be hard. Straps. Actual straps. There we go. But for the pants, how would I do that? Not the pants, the shorts. And the shirt, actually. Because it has to have like a separation. So I know the heart, I'm gonna sew that on. Let's see. Oh. There we go. Somewhat. Heart. That's not how you write that. Heart. Sewn on. There we go. Okay, so then it's gonna have to be half fabric, or not necessarily half, but like maybe I'm gonna say a third, but it's not really a third. A third there, and then it's gonna have to be like that, and then this is gonna be pants. Not pants, shorts. Shorts. Oh, my rib hurts. Do y'all get that feeling? Okay, this is probably a medical issue that I should probably get checked out, because I never ask the doctors this, because I always forget. That's the problem. Whenever I go to the doctors, I like forget to ask things, and so there's like these issues that I've had. Not like really bad issues, right? It's not like I'm bleeding out or anything, but you know, issues that sometimes they happen, and I'm like, I don't think this is really normal. But if I lay on my side for too long sometimes in a specific way, I can almost feel like my rib shift, and I can like almost hear it pop. And it doesn't hurt. It feels uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt. And I don't know if I'm the only one who gets that. Which if I do, it's probably not good. I never looked it up because I don't want it to be something. The voices are totally normal. No, I don't hear, well, no, I don't hear voices anymore. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, when was the last time, I heard voices? No. I haven't heard voices in, like, years. And, like, that house that we lived in at the time that would happen, there was more than a couple things that happened where it's like, yeah, okay, that probably was something supernatural. But I don't hear that anymore, so we're all good there. I hesitated because I had to think about it for a second, I had to make sure I wasn't lying. I was like, have I been? If I have, then I've gotten to the point where I literally do not, like, actually realize that stuff happens. But I've noticed that, and this is really bad. This is really bad for survival, but, I've noticed that whenever things happen, like noises happen that wake me up at night, I kind of forget that, like, hey, things like people breaking in at night are a very real thing that can happen, and so you need to be vigilant. But, like, I wake up and I'm just like, what was that loud noise? And then I go back to bed immediately. So, not good. Not good. Do not have that great of survival skills. Oh, man. Tell the supernatural stories? I'm saving them. That's a thing that may... I'm saying may, but it, like, 90% will come up next month, the spooky month. I'm gonna try and do a lot more horror and stuff next month. Because, it's gonna be a spooky month. 'Tis the season and all that, All that jazz, all that jazz. I wonder how I should do the ears. Should it be like a fold of fabric? Or should I do a plush ear? If so, how would I do a plush ear? Because I want to have that indentation there. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be spooky season. It's gonna be October. I was gonna call it Halloween, but I was like, Halloween is not a month. So what is it called? I think it might just be a cone of fabric. Or what I can do is I can take, let's see, what would be the shape of that unfurled? It would be kind of like this. Kind of like a tortilla chip. But it's got to have like a rounded outer edge so that it fits on the head. So kind of like that. And then I'd have to do two of those sewn together with filling, or plush rather. But that would just make that. How would I get it? I guess I would have to like do that. I'd have to add that on so that it does what I need it to do. So that when I put two, it'll be like this plush ear. Excuse me while I scratch my eye. That gives me ideas. Yay. It almost concerns me. Actually, no, it concerns me a lot. But yeah, no. Right there. Yeah, I have a bunch of spooky stories. I would like to. I don't know how viable this is right now, and I'll never mention this again, so haha, free content that will never be seen again unless people watch the VOD. But I would like to host like a collab or something where people come on and then they tell like, their spookiest story and stuff like that. And so it'll be almost like a slumber party type deal. But I don't know how free I'm gonna be the day of Halloween. I know I want to stream on Halloween. I'm not sure what time yet. I'm probably gonna have to do it earlier because it looks like my family does want to go trick-or-treating this year, which I don't know, I was kind of planning on them not wanting to. So yeah. Yeah, I want to do like a big collab where people just come on at like allotted times, and then they come and they tell like a spooky story and it's just like, we all get scared, I got one for real. Yeah, that's good. I feel like it's very rare. It's more rare for people not have a ghost story. To not have a ghost story that they can tell. Everyone knows a friend of a friend, or a cousin, or a grandma, or this generational like story that was told and passed down through all of their family and stuff. Times 2. Let's put stuffing here. Stuffing. And then... Well, actually it would be times 4. Whoops. Right there. 4 for 2 ears. 2. Well, that would make them... No. Well, it would depend, the color. Because there has to be 2 different colors too. But for now, I'll just put 2 ears. And then for the earring, I'm not sure how I would actually do that. Mine is spooky religion based, and it happened to our entire family. We've each had different interactions and incidents. No more details for now. Yeah, save it for the night, but yikes. Mine is a thing that I saw that was like, I remember it so vividly. And there is no logical answer for what the hell I saw. Because I know that I didn't, like, not see it, you know? But also it was one of those things that, like, disappeared, but, like, I didn't wake up, so, yeah, I don't know, it's scary. Oh, man, and there's so many other, like, mini stories. Mini. Is it mini? Mini stories. Ew, but that doesn't sound right. I don't know, smaller stories that I have that is like, why did that happen? What can I use for these? I know I have... What are they called? Oh, that would be cute if I like punched holes and then I used grommets and then I actually put like little metal rings in there. But that might be too much. I'll write down that idea just in case I decide that's not that bad of an idea. Okay, let's do this. And then... Let's see. Mimi stories? Exactly. After you finish Spanish, what other language you want to learn? That's a good question. I want to learn Japanese, but I know their Japanese lessons aren't that good, but also I know that learning Japanese is hard. So, you know, like even just the slightest bit of learning a language I think is cool. So, I would want to give it a try. Korean I know isn't, allegedly, that hard to learn. Oh, Spanish from what region? For me, Mexico. But even then, like, my Spanish kind of sucks. No puedo hablar tan bien, pero lo puedo entender. Entender más bueno de lo que puedo hablarlo. There. Oh, man. Yeah, I've been getting a little better. My dad's been talking to me more in Spanish and stuff, and so my enunciation is getting slightly better, but it's still kind of sucky. Oh, punch. I want to do another Duolingo stream. I'm probably going to have one next week. Because I've been trying to fit it in, but it's like, oh, I still have this game to play and that game to play. Muy bien. Gracias. I need to learn Korean. Yeah, I want to learn Japanese too, but it's difficult. Yeah, I like had to look up a bunch of like, oh, what app to use and stuff like this. And there was like Anki and stuff. I think it was Anki. It was like Anki, or it might have been Aniki, but I think it was Anki. And yeah, it's difficult. I had a whole binder dedicated to it. Like, I was taking notes. I was so dedicated to it because I was like, I want to have someone who holds me accountable. And I chose, like, the person who sticks to things the least to do it with. And so once they gave up, I did it for, like, one more day, and then I gave up, too. Oh, man. My handwriting in Korean is better than English. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's not. you. Oh, my God. Qué emocionante. And if I use Duolingo for it, only have the English translate, so yeah, I'm not good with English to try it. Yeah, that must suck. Yeah, cause like, I can only imagine learning... Okay, so here's the thing about language learning, right? This is kind of unrelated, but when you take language A, right? Where was I going with this? I may have just lost my entire train of thought. Oh yeah. So, okay. So, sentence structures, right? Also, who the hell writes like this? Me. I write like that. So sentence structures in English, we'll put the green. That shouldn't be capitalized, but don't worry about it. Shirt. That shouldn't be capitalized either, but don't worry about it. Right? So this is, I don't know what they're called, but it's like a filler word, right? And then this is a adjective, right? So it's a description of what it is. So ADJ is how we abbreviate that. And then this is the noun, right? So that's the actual object that we're talking to. So the sentence is referring to the shirt that is green, right? In Spanish, it's la camisa verde, right? So la, which is the equivalent of the, and then it would say camisa, if I can write this correctly, verde, right? And so you notice how these aren't direct? So sentence structures are different per language, and this changes with every language from what I've seen, because I've studied a little bit of German, a little bit of Japanese, and the tiniest bit of Korean, and like the sentence structures always change. And so it's difficult because like whenever you're first thinking, because like I think everyone's first encounter with being multilingual is using those like language to English, like you know, Korean to English or Spanish to English in my case, dictionaries, or English to Spanish dictionaries, you know, stuff like that, where you directly translate everything. So if I had just done a direct translation of the English sentence, it would have been la verde camisa, yeah, la verde camisa, which isn't necessarily wrong, but it would be like saying the shirt green, which kind of, I mean, in English's case is a different sentence, because that could be kind of like a colloquial way of saying that shirt is green, instead of saying like I'm talking about the green shirt. You know what I mean? And so it's difficult, you know, and not everything's just a direct translation. You gotta learn sentence structures too, and that's the part that gets me the most. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a nice example for you to see that Spanish is close to Portuguese. For me, it's a camisa verde. Oh, only one word change. Oh, so for you, the is ah. Oh, that is so weird. Like, that's cool, you know? There's so many languages to learn. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine, like, I don't think it's physically possible, but if someone were to learn every language, like that would be so cool. They could go into anywhere and they'd be like, I know what you're saying, and I can say it back to you, you know? Oh man, but it must take forever to like, okay, it's one thing to understand languages, right? Because I can understand what people are saying in Spanish, but me speaking it, what I have trouble with is pronunciation. The sentence structure is a little bit easier for me because I grew up with Spanish, you know? So it's not as hard, but like the pronunciation, right? So there's like so many things that go into learning a language, because if you don't pronounce things right, it can change the way people are understanding you. If you don't say things in the correct order, it changes it. And then with English, like we have different words for different things that are spelled the same and pronounced differently. So it's like there's so much, you know, and there's so many like different rules, like I before E except after C and stuff like that, which I don't even know if that applies to things. For me, I just like, this looks about right, and I'm a native English speaker, you know? And so it's so crazy. I don't know how it's called in English, but in Portuguese, it's poliglota, a person who can speak a bunch of languages. Oh, it's multilingual. If it's 2 languages, then it's bilingual. If it's 3 languages, then it's trilingual. If it's 4 languages, I'm not sure, I don't remember. But I think like at 5 languages, it turns into polylingual. Or just like multiple languages in general. I think if it's 5 or more, it's polylingual or stuff like that. I took basic French and it was so surreal because I am fluent in Spanish and English, and it's somehow a weird melted mix. Yeah, there's like certain pronunciations that is like, yeah, okay, I kind of see what you're saying, and some things that are like very related in the root word, because the thing is, a lot of languages came from Latin, and so Latin is like a root language, so a lot of Latin is mixed into different things. So that's why we'll see similarities of certain things in different things, like how to say, what's a word in English that's like similar in Spanish? I can't think of any now, but I know they exist because I know I've seen them before. Oh man, that's why you get sometimes where it's like oh, this word in English is just like pronounced differently in Spanish, and that's how you say it in Spanish, you know? Like, because Latin is the root language, so like that means to some extent, if someone were to perfectly learn Latin, they'd be able to kind of understand, and like not really, right, but almost understand at least a little bit of almost any language, with exception to, you know, more than a couple, because I don't think, no, I know not every language has its root in Latin. But it's just crazy to me, you know? Like, so many languages spawn from that language. It's just like, it's exciting. I don't know. It's something that doesn't relate to me too much. Like, I don't think I'll ever learn Latin, but if I did, it would be cool, you know? And then grommet. There we go. Grommet, and then oop. Oop. That would be cute. That would be so cute. Ah. Oh my gosh. Friends working overtime, but also being mind blown. I felt that. Oh yeah, and then there was something else, right? So if you've ever been a person where it's like, oh my gosh, I wonder what my name was, or what my name is in this language, the answer is almost always just that accent while saying your name. Because the thing is, so like, okay, how do I say this? Names aren't words, but words can be names. So someone named Sky, right? Technically in Spanish, it would be like, oh, well, you could say your name in Spanish would be Cielo, right? But we wouldn't call you Cielo. Or like, at least most people wouldn't. We would just say, ¿quieres hablar a Sky? You know? We would just say your name with a Spanish accent, because names aren't translated. They're just said with that accent because, you know, we almost always have that accent whenever we're still talking. And so, like, there's that answer. If you ever wondered, like, oh, what's my name? And, you know, those, like, those things that were trending for a while, like, way, way back then. But it was like, oh, like, here's your name in Japanese, here's your name in Korean, and you would, like, pick out all the letters and then assemble it. Like, you could do that, but it's not really, like, that, because names don't get translated. They just get said with an accent. Names and important nouns like locations, sometimes country usually stay the same. I think countries do change, because like what is it, what did I learn recently? I forget the name for Germany in Spanish, but it's not just Germany. It's like a whole different word. It's nice, like my name Lurk. I forgot what it is in English. Oh, that's an English word. It just means to, like, how do you say that? Like to be somewhere and not really interact, but just to, like, be in a no, be in a place and just, like, be there for a long time. I imagine this was for when we give OCs cool Japanese languages names, but we would name a kid Water, Lightning, Dark Wind. For real, Albania, German. Is that what? Yeah, because in Spanish, like, speaking German is like, me gusta el alemán, or something like that. Like, that's the sentences that it was having me learn in Duolingo. To stalk, to linger. Yeah, see, like, there's not, like, it's hard to really define lurk, because it's really just to, like, it's almost like loiter, to be in an area without really a purpose, for an extended period of time. But, like, that's not, why don't I just Google it? Let's see, lurk definition, because I think it's more about the movement than just, like, being in a place, too. Because if someone, like, lurks there, I mean, you know, online it has a different meaning altogether. Let's see. The definition apparently is to wait out of view, to move furtively, or sneak, to exist unobserved or unsuspected. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Usually has a negative connotation. Yeah. The online community, for the most part, I think they're usually like, yeah, you know, lurkers are good, or like at least they mean well, you know. And so there's that. But yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah, another way that I could do these is I do have little, I forget what they're called, studs, that's what they're called. I do also have little studs that I could put on there. But it wouldn't be the same. Yeah, I might go with the grommet, but then I'll need to buy the grommets and stuff. And then I gotta make sure they're not too big, and then I gotta make sure the hoops that I get aren't that, I'll think about it, I'll think about it. We cross that bridge, we cross that bridge when we get there. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's the body, that's the sleeve, times 2. Wow, that is horrible. There we go. My thing is, how am I gonna do the hair? I can't imagine me doing it any other way other than it just being like a cutout sheet of felt. Oh man. Okay, those are the ears. So I guess I gotta actually start planning on the hair. Okay. I think it can actually be cut out in pieces. So this would be one piece. The one piece. So what can happen here is that I can actually embroider this separation. Let me make this smaller. Oh, that's too small. That's way too small. That's still too small. Embroider. I don't even know if that's how you spell it. If I understood right, lurk is like hiding something similar. Yeah. It's like being in a place without someone knowing, kinda. It's not exactly hiding, because you're not like intentionally being there while not getting seen, but you're just there and you're not noticed. That's the thing. Embroidered. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Oh, where am I? Oh, I'm lost. There we go. Embroidered. Let's see. We have another person to finish our spooky maze kind of game. Nice. Actively hiding. Yeah, well, is it? Is lurking actively hiding? Well, yeah, I guess it is, huh? Because the first definition is to wait out of view. So I guess it is. I thought it was, like, unintentionally, but yeah. Well, I suppose you can do it both unintentionally and intentionally. Like, oh, why were you lurking over there in the shadows? Oh, well, I didn't mean to lurk. I was just over there. And it's like, oh, I lurked in the shadows. You know, that way would be intentionally. There we go. Okay, I think this entire thing will be one piece. And then this would be another piece, but how would I make it come out like that? What I could do is have 2 pieces. So like that. And then it's sewn together with a secondary piece and stuffed. So let me go ahead and add stuffing. Right there. Stuffing. There we go. Yeah, I guess. Shh. Unintentionally, it would be assimilating the void in public. Ah, would it be? What does assimilating mean? I thought that meant to, like, to join. Let's see. Cheds, I don't think they know. Ah, still, don't say it. Remember, don't say it if they don't know. Because then people will be like, what does that mean? And then it'll just look like I'm ignoring y'all. Let's see. Tending to or characterized by causing assimilation, being absorbed into or incorporated. Yeah. So then they would be incorporated into the void in public. Kind of, I think. Kind of like blending in plain sight, right? Whoop. I zoomed out of chat. There we go. Okay, so this one would be sewn together with 2 pieces. And then this one too. And then times 2 for the second piece over there. And I think I might do the same with this. But then it would be kind of a shame not to make the hair 3D in the back. Let's see. I don't know, but technically yes. Yeah, see? Because, like, I guess it really just depends on intention. You can both be intentionally and unintentionally doing things. Does that apply for everything? I wonder. Can you unintentionally ride a bike? Yeah, I suppose you can, huh? Nice. 1,190. One day I'll have them set up. I'm like so close to getting it, but I need to find someone who understands how to set that stuff up in OBS. And so I don't know. I have to I have to really see what I can do as far as that, because I'm like right at the cusp of getting it like completely set up, and all I need to do is figure out how I can make things happen in OBS so that y'all can actually activate stuff. I'm on the cusp of it. I just don't know how it works enough. I should probably look up a guide now that I'm thinking about it. Cause like I followed a video guide, but it wasn't a guide enough. Okay, this one's gonna have to be flat so that it matches the back of the hair. Yeah. So that piece of the hair is gonna be the only one that's 3D. And that one. And then I guess it'll just be like that. An entire piece like that or something. Oops. Okay, I should finish the planning on the back side. Yeah, right here. And I think this will be another flat piece, and then I can sew in the middle part to make it more 3D. So kind of sewn in like that. Because what you can do is you can cut essentially like a bigger piece. So in this case, it would look something like this. Like that. Right? And then you scrunch up all this part and like pinch it together so that it's sewn, and then this becomes more 3D because it's being pushed out. Or at least that's how I would intend it to be. I don't know if that's how it would actually work. Can't wait to be able to use points. Yeah. Hopefully sometime soon. Because that stuff's tricky. It's like, it reminds me of visual blueprinting, which if you don't know what that is, just Google it really quick. And it's about confusing as it looks. Which, like, once you're at a point to where, like, you know what you're doing, you know, it's doable. But not without learning. And then depending on what you make, it can get more and more complicated. So it's all fun times, There we go. And then it doesn't look that hard. I don't know, man, because you gotta know what you need to do in order to pull in the correct things. Okay, from here it would be this, that, this, that, this, that. Ooh, close. There we go. Let me jump scare you already. Oh man, when you think the project will take a month and then you finish it 4 months later, like for real, that was like, I started, like legit, that's what happened with this. I started it like maybe 2 months ago. Was it 2 months? It might have actually been 2 months ago. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'll probably have it done by the end of the week. And then, like, every step took longer because I was like, oh, well, I said I was going to do this. And this is more, what's it called? Like, I need to do this more than I need to do that. It's higher priority. So that's why I finished a bunch of other stuff. And then I would come back to it on, like, the free time or the time that I had in between before I started another project. And, like, that's the time that I've been contributing to that. But because I don't know what I'm doing anytime it fails, and like I've run out of time to use on that project, I'm like, well, that goes to the backlog again. I gotta go do all this before I'm able to come back to it, you know? Oh man, I just now finished a short project. Nice, what'd you finish? I felt that. Short projects, it's always like, oh, I'll just spend like 3 days, maybe a week on it. No. No, it's never good. Gonna go drive now. Have a good stream, you goofball. Bye. Be safe. Take care, Cheddar. Yee. Take care. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So right now I was adjusting myself. Myself. I was adjusting myself. I was adjusting. Man, I can speak. I was adjusting myself on the chair, and the chair, you know, it rotates, right? I almost fell. Because it rotated too much, so I panicked, but you shouldn't panic when things start moving, because then you lose your balance and stuff. So I almost fell, but I didn't. Totally safe, Paprika. We'll do a flat piece note. And right there. There we go. You heard of Art Fight? I participated in that competition. I just finished a time lapse of every drawing I did for it. Postage today, finally done. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've always wanted to participate in Art Fight, but I never understood the rules too much, and I know a big thing about it is oh, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner, there's plenty of guides and stuff, and it's not that hard. And from what I understand, it's you make an OC, and then you do attacks or something, and you join teams, or sometimes you don't, and you attack people, and then they attack back, and the attacks are just drawings of each other or something. And so it's a way to do more art and get more art, you know. It's very nice, and I've always wanted to do it, but I feel I don't grasp the concept enough, so I've always been hesitant to join it. And because it takes so long, I think it's a month long, right? And so yeah, I never joined it, but yeah, that's dope, dude. And yeah, time lapse of everything. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. It was my first art fight. You draw other people's OCs to get points for your team. It was legit fun. Yo, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, so there is a winning team, huh? Who decides? Oh, well, there's an official, what's it called? An official website for it, right? Yeah, that stuff's dope. Oh man. One day I will join it. Okay, that was the body. Meaning the legs get sewn onto it. So they gotta be cylinders. So I think I can do it in a thirds kind of way. How do you... There we go. Like that. And so it would just be... It gets shorter at the end, so it would be like that. There we go. There we go. Like that all the way around, except it would be half shorts, half skin. You can even do physical crafts? So if you do plushies of other OCs, it counts? Oh shit. What you drawing? I am drawing the schematics for a plush toy of Paprika that will probably never be manufactured because, oh, that's a hellhole in and of itself. But yeah, more so for me if I ever wanted to make one, you know? You know, guys, don't worry. Every skill level can participate. It's a very friendly environment. Yeah, it sounds like I kind of want to do it, but don't have skill or time for that. Oh yeah, the band kid right there. Oh man. Yes, I need it. I mean, you know, the blueprints are gonna be there for in case you ever want to make it, but yeah, no, this will take too much time. But yeah, it's very cute. Trying to figure out how to do this. It's gonna be a oblong circle, so that would mean it's oval shaped. It's potato shaped. It's potato. Okay. It's potato shaped. What I could do is I could do beach ball style, or I could do Mandarin style. I'm thinking of food. Potato? Yeah, potato. There we go. So that would be, I think, a 6-piece. So like thirds and then halves. There we go. And so the pieces, because they're going to be shaped like that, they're going to be longer than they normally would be, but also more bulkier around the middle, I think, to cover more ground. Well, not ground, but, you know, surface area, I guess. There we go. Now I'm hungry. Same. I want a mandarin. I was supposed to get like a mandarin or a box of raisins before I started stream, but I forgot. Okay, there we go. Let me just... The only thing I'm not sure about is whether or not I should make the tail 3D or not. Because I don't know how to achieve that for the tail. I was thinking of game assets and I was like, oh, well, I could do, you know, like a two-way split. So like one like that and then coming in from that way, one like that. But that's not how things work. That's not how things work in real life. And like I could make little 3D versions of each like hair poof. But it, as you can see right now, it wouldn't look that good. It might just have to be 2D. Go grab me something to eat and I'll probably lurk because editing, no worries. Yes, 3D tail. It would be close to impossible without making just like a giant chicken tender, if you will, of a tail. Let's see. Oh, I was about to erase the entire drawing. Someone needs the 3D model. Me to get into 3D modeling again. Oh? Uh-oh. Oh. Whoa, y'all are gone. Encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video SE. Oh, that's new. Making a plush in Blender sounds neat. It is, it is. Let's see if I can get y'all back up. It may be time for me to to call it for the night. I wanted to get the tail done, but it looks like OBS might kick me off before that's doable. No. Y'all are gone. I'm so sad. Let's see, do I have a chat replacement thing? No, I don't think I do. Y'all are gone. No. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna learn Blender to make it IRL. Oh my god. Your OBS is mad? Like, for real, it's happened not as many times, but it has happened before. I don't know why, I don't change the settings too often. This one's the only one with like ultra low latency, so like, you know, it makes sense that it would be more janky, but also I'm not running as much programs, you know, all I'm running is VC Face and Clip Studio Paint and OBS. That's literally all that I'm running. Well, I'm also running, what's it called? Spud Tablet, but like that's not a lot of programs. None of those are like very, very like intense on the computer, so it shouldn't do that. This happens like once a week or a month. It hasn't happened recently. I haven't had to deal with this in a hot minute. So yeah, no, it doesn't happen too often, but I don't know. It got upset at me. Okay, let me make a couple of ideas really quick for this. What I can do is, let me see. So here's a good thing to do whenever you're maybe new to a hobby and you don't know how to do certain things. Let's see. Let me go to Windows Show Live. There we go. Okay, give me like 2 seconds. Window. Okay, and then there we go. Okay, so excuse me while I just do this. Oh, okay. That'll be fine. So you're gonna come with me really quick. Let's see. Let's try wolf plush toy. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how they make the tails. And then we'll use that to dictate how I can make the tail. Let's see. So this one, they just have like one thing, but it's with fluff. That's something that I didn't consider. When in doubt, donkey from Shrek. Oh my gosh. No. Yeah, for the most part, it's the same thing. What about foxes? Do they do the same thing for foxes? Yeah, like around the same thing. Okay, so then I'll just have to make a fluffy tail for the end. And I might also have to use... I might also have to use that same material for that, or I could just do like a regular... Okay, let's go back to Art Live. Right over... There it is. There we go. Y'all are still God, I'm so sad. Welcome in, Fleagle and Drooper. How are you? The stream will be ending soon, just a heads up. I'm actually over time with this, but yeah. Chat is broken, unfortunately. OBS screamed at me, and now y'all are invisible, and I can't get y'all to pop back up. I don't know why it does this sometimes. What is this? Wait, actually, hold on. Maybe able to do something. Can I draw your character, please? Of course. Of course you can. I do not mind at all. In fact, I, if anything, encourage it. Oh wait, this isn't what I need. Wait, actually. Would it be studio? Oh, I don't want to share the wrong thing. Yeah, it is. There it goes. I mean, it's not the best, but it'll do. It'll do. There we go. Let's see. She has a reference on Twitter. You can get it put on the fridge. That's true. That's true. If you do fan art and, you know, leave it in the Discord, or, you know, tag me in any way that you can, it goes on the fridge. Yeah. Go back to Art Live. I guess this has happened before to where I have it set up, because I don't have it set up in the chatting screen, so that's concerning. That tells me something. But yeah, so I could use either fluffy material, and then how do they section it? What they do is, specifically for the one that I'm looking at, they have a cone shape, so that means it'll be a circle, a dot, a line, and then that's like one fabric piece rolled around. That's how they make a cone shape. A little broken? Yeah, it's a little broken, but it's the thought that counts, right? Oh man. But I'll be back, gonna grab a snack. Okay, no worries. Or no guarantee that I'll be here in reality, but you know. I really want to finish this part. Right there. And then same thing with that. So that's how they do that. But how does that look? I guess it would be even longer circumference. Like that, kind of, but of course smaller. It's probably not that big. There we go. Probably like that, to be honest. Go ahead and grab these and put them bottom right there. The on-screen chat is lagging hard. Ah, for real? Wait, actually, it might not be lagging because I do have this part cut off. Yeah, I thought that might be it. Let's see if I can move this further down, because I know a part of it, yeah, I covered that part. So it should be that. That should help it. It's not lagging, it's just not positioned properly. Let's test it. Echo! Yeah, see, it's pretty... I think it's pretty accurate. Because that's where I first see y'all's chat messages and stuff. 5 seconds. Yeah. So I was the problem. I apologize. Oh man. Okay, so that, or I can do a good old teardrop shape. That's sewn, I think, like a third way. So this, a third, should be it, times 3, and then fluffy material. I forgot to put the Y. There we go. And just like that, we now know how to make a... You see these notes? This is like legitimately the notes that I had to take the last time that I made a plush toy. Because I need to know the plan before I do it, you know? But yeah, now I have the plans. The what's it called? The blueprints on how to make an actual plush paprika. For the most part. Chat doesn't have much delay. Yeah, the one that has more delay is the actual on-screen one. Because that one, it has to take like the actual code from, or not the code, but you know, like the actual like browser link, and then display that. Like it runs it through CSS and then it displays it like fancy or whatever. But this is like the actual, like what it's getting immediately. Last time? What's last time? Did I say last time? I can't remember. Oh man. I should... maybe. I have a zip tie? Oh my gosh. Guys, don't play with zip ties. Or knives. They're dangerous. Let me... change this. Rename to Broken Chat. There we go. That's not even close to how it's supposed to be typed. That's still not even close to how it's supposed to be typed. There we go. And now I can get ready for ending stream because I've finished. I may clean this up, or I think I'll try and release this on Twitter and probably like in the Discord or something in case anyone actually wants to actually use this, because I've done the hard part for you. But yeah, let me go here, and then do I have broken chat here anywhere? I don't. Okay, give me 2 seconds. It's supposed to be window capture, broken chat. Okay, there we go. And now just ignore everything that y'all see right there, because it's not supposed to be there. There we go. Totally fine. Totally normal. Oops. Oh, that's not it either. There we go. I'm just gonna make this like that big. That should be fine. Oh my gosh, that fridge is so cute. Thank you. I spent not a lot of time on it. Well, a little bit of time on it. I have to, like, every time that I put something on there, I don't want anyone's to be covered up. So I have to like rearrange everything. So if you look throughout my streams, things change and like they move and stuff, and I want it to make sense, you know? To look like an actual fridge. And so yeah, draw me, or like draw something. Oh no, draw me. Yeah, that's a requirement. Draw me, and then it gets put on the fridge because it makes me happy. Alright, I'll go ahead and let y'all go. Why do I always say that whenever I'm like getting off a phone call? I just realized that I say that every time that I leave anything. Can you wait? I'm going to post a drawing soon. Nah, I have to go ahead and go. I'm hungry. Let's see, if anything, just buy another fridge. Yeah, that's my plan. Whenever it gets to a full, I might start adding more fridges, so one day we'll have like an entire back wall of fridges. Ideally. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and leave y'all there. Be safe, drink your milk, enjoy your vegetables. Yeah, drink your milk, eat your vegetables, don't talk to strangers, or at least try and use your best judgment. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be what? Tomorrow's gonna be a stream from 1 to 4, I believe. And be expecting a different stream too, because there's a cool thing happening tomorrow that you know, should be fun. Should be cool. Take care, bon appetit. It's already midnight for me. Finishing here and then going to bed. Good. Get good rest, okay? And see, I talk to strangers all the time. You shouldn't. Or at least try and use your best judgment about it, because strangers are scary. Alright, I'll go and leave y'all there. Bye! Bye, guys! Oh, y'all are still broken there. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just quickly in stream and then I won't have to fix it. Oh my gosh. Bye!